Sorry about that. Just texting my dad on on Father's Day. See if anybody. Just kind of seeing. We got three people. Three people in the chat. Look at that. What's going on? How's it going? I'm at bar. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I am not here to praise Caesar. What evil men do is buried with them. Something, 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 right? So I got some shit I'm working. I'm gonna be working. Pull this up. See, when I pull this up, I can't touch. I can't touch the screen. So this is kind of going to be what I'm going to be looking like most of the day. This, and I switch over. All right. So Liam has decided that he is. I was going to do some Liam e-fapping yesterday, but just didn't care. Like I got up. I was like, oh my God, let's e-fap this crazy shit. I like pulled out the Ethan art, was going to like talk shit, but I didn't care. Ultimately, like once I like went through all the motions of starting the stream and then talking to John Longbox and talking to Patrick, like I didn't even feel like fucking talking or looking at Liam shit. And then I went outside and touched grass with my family. Yesterday, so it was like, Daddy, we gotta go, and you're right. So we went downtown, and there was some sort of a street festival going on, and so that was dope. It was African American. I've got photos, so this isn't like, Liam Gray land where shit's just like make believe. So it was me and my two girls. We go downtown, and we're going to the comic book store. There's a comic book store downtown. So before we go to the comic book store, we go down to the festival, and it's like a gospel thing. It's some sort of I forgot the denomination, but it was a gospel Christian religious thing, revival going on. So there was lots of food there, lots of jewelry, lots of like sparkly things that little girls like to look at. They were just like every table. They were just like, it's like I'm not gonna buy this stuff, and like I just bought him some shit. I had like just bought him a bunch of stuff, and it was just like, you've got a bunch of stuff at home. Like we're just coming down. Like I thought we were just gonna get like some Pez dispensers. They always buy Pez dispensers at the comic book store. So we went and we got something to drink, and then we went and got some frog legs. We ate some frog legs from this like truck. It was like a food truck. Monk's Corner, South Carolina was where it was from. It was here in town. They were selling all kinds of stuff, and I saw frog legs and was like my mama used to make frog legs. So we got an order of frog legs and fries, and it was like $20 for 4 sets of frog legs and some fries and a piece of white bread, which was that code. Like, hey, you see that serving right there, that cup? Yeah, see how there's a piece of white bread in there? Yeah, that's going to that white family. I don't know. Maybe, probably not. But that did seem a lot. Like, I was like, damn, man. 20 something bucks for some frog legs? Like, that seems a little bit much when they're fucking frogs. I was like, am I paying white pride, fucking some sort of like white privilege, not white pride, white privilege tax or something? Seemed like a lot. Seemed like a lot. And like, I was just like, she just like kind of made up a number. Because it wasn't on the menu, but the sign was there. So that, I wonder if it was like catch of the day seasonal pricing. Maybe I'm just being like paranoid. Probably just being paranoid. It was probably some sort of like seasonal catch of the day pricing. But so we paid them, and they were super hot. They were like fresh fried, but like just straight up, like, snip, throw them in the fryer, lightly fried, lightly doughed or whatever, like not as much crisp on them as I had wanted. Like, maybe more batter, I think, is what I'm talking about. I would have preferred more batter on my frog legs. But the girls ate them, and they were like, "What is this again?" I'm like, "It's frog legs." And they were just like, and then they start like jumping around. They started jumping down the street. Yeah, I was like, "Did the frog legs, they make you jump higher?" And they were like, "Yeah." So that was fun. So then we went to the comic book store, and like, normally in the comic book store, there's a dude. What's the deal, dog? Do you gotta tell us? Do you gotta tell us what you're doing there, dude? Maybe just the first part. You're working and you're lurking, and you're lurking and you're jerking. Maybe you're working at a jerk factory. Maybe you're jerking some chicken. You know, look at this. I got this awesome cup today. My dad is awesome. I got this awesome cup. My dad is awesome. And on the other side, Bluey. Get your $1. It's such a spectrum of my opinion of Australia. You know, like on one side it's like fucking Liam Gray, fucking idiot, and then on the other side you got Bluey and Crocodile Dundee. It's a pickle. There's more stuff. There's definitely more stuff about Australia that I like, but like Liam is just so fucking fat that he does like start to take up some of the space on that scale of like shit that, it's like, do I like Australia? You know, Man from Snowy River. Fucking hold on. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. The wife just came home, and I talked to her for a second because a simp for my wife. Boom, 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 boom. I simp for. I simp for my wife. I don't know if I simp for her. I love her and I respect her, and I don't know. I can make my own sandwiches. I mean, if I was like, "Hey, honey, could you make a sandwich?" She probably would, but she's probably in the middle of doing something, letting me sit up here working. So I can go downstairs and make my own sandwich. I am here to make her life better. What's going on, Garfield? So me and Garfield were over in John Longbox's chat, enjoying that, and I had heard about John Longbox's and Liam's conversation. I didn't really watch any of it, and I really didn't. And then this morning, John was like, "Yeah, like we talk about you. You should check it out." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I'm always funny when I say shit off the cuff. You're gonna have to wait. I think I got a little person about to knock on my door. Yes. Yeah. Hold on. What an amazing stream! It's probably some of the best streaming I've ever done. Away from it. Got to see some new toy cats. Look at my new toy kitty. That's amazing. The kitty's amazing. What's its name? Sparkles. They're either like Sparkles or Roxy, but it's so me and Garfield were in the other chat, and John was like, "You should hear it." So this is what this is going to be. So I put the link in the chat and in the secret link area. If somebody wants to hop in, I got space for 4 people. You know what's going on. If you want to hop in and talk about this, I'm probably not going to stop it. I'll probably just like let it play and then maybe comment while I'm drawing. once we get started. Let's see, what was my favorite? What's your favorite part of Godlike? Oh, let me think. The favorite part of Godlike was when they wanted to do flashbacks of America, and they were using like the American flag, 9/11, the cross. Did you hear that? I need a piece of paper. Okay, hold on. I thought you had paper in your room. Lily, I got the paper. Are you gonna need some toy dollars? Do you have scissors? You got those new scissors, don't you? Didn't you get some new left-handed scissors? Mm-mm. It's survival in the city. Brow, brow. My favorite part, yeah, was the callback to Christ, America, 9/11, and then Rome, all within like a 2-page spread. I thought that was interesting. I think my favorite part was probably the section where it was just black pages. That might be my favorite part. Least favorite part was when they were talking about raping and eating the women and children. I was like, really? Did you really, Edgelord? But it's like I had already, like, when I saw Godlike and read Godlike, I had already read Omega Storm or whatever the fuck it was with the the throat fucking of the severed head. To like to Gail Simone. Like, what did I'm not like what? Like, and that was supposed to be an edgelord joke of like to Gail Simone. Throat fucked. Severed head. Thinking about you, Gail. Like, what are you doing? So that was my least favorite part. I didn't like any of fucking Omega Storm. I thought it was like just fucking trash. And then when I read through Godlike, fuck. I mean, people showing up. There was like some fight scenes with like maybe another race of like vampire people, but they were like giants. There's a guy, he's bald. They're everybody's got fucking clenched fists. Everybody's like eyeballing. Everybody's got their heads down. There's a lot of like the same fucking pattern of figure drawing where it's just clenched fists, eyes down, dudes looking at each other's fucking dicks. And like you could go back to one of my reviews where it was just like, look at this guy. These guys just fucking looking at dicks. See, I remember fucking Godlike more than Liam does because I like went through it. I like read it like 3 or 4 times because it was just like before I just totally fucking shred this fucking book. Let me fucking like really figure out like what like am I being a dickhead? You know what I mean? It was like fuck this dude. Let's look at this fucking piece of shit. And it was just like, all right, is this a piece of shit? Let's be subjective. You know what I mean? Like, am I being an asshole? Let's put like the fucking let's put the dude on the shelf and let's just kind of like read it. And it was I don't know, man. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit in the beginning that didn't make sense. There's like 1,000 years this happened, and then another 10,000, and then finally 5,000. Lots of like prose, and he was like, dude, you don't understand. This is a different kind of comic book. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, we've all read fucking Savage Sword of Conan, like fucking Solomon Kane, you know, where there's just like fucking poems of fucking, and shit with like a single drawing. So it's or somebody, who's grown up on heavy metal. Like, it's not that fucking crazy to have giant blocks of fucking text, but for somebody who's an artist, or somebody who like, I am so good at what I do that when everybody else is like trying to flex their muscles, I'm just gonna draw dicks. Like, if that's your fucking go-to joke is to just draw dicks, then your fucking actual pages need to be fucking like spot on, and they just weren't, dude. Everybody's just kind of like shitty poses. Nothing was really like touching anything. Maybe there's a moment of like this barbarian guy having a tender moment with this fucking weird woman she looked like the woman from Blade Runner with the black makeup across her eyes. So it was just like, is this a Blade Runner reference? And then there's a giant battle, and there's a giant battle that we see some of. There's some of, and then finally the dude is standing up tall, but he's like all defeated. All the bad guys are standing behind him, and they seem to all just kind of be like pasted. It's very like Rob Liefeldy, like the worst of Rob Liefeld, like over rendered like Liefeld. And he like grabs hold of this sword that looks like a cross between excuse me, a cross between like the Sword of Omens and like Transformers. You know what I mean? It's like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, are they all barbarians on a planet? And is this sword like the Sword of Omens, or is it like a key to tech that they don't understand? Like, what is this sword? Like, he grabs it, and instead of showing the sword, it has existed for like 10,000 years or whatever. It's almost like, look at this sword. It represents the hero's journey through time. It's a manifestation of the hero's journey through time. And it's, I think, right, but it shows like early shit, like Roman. It shows like a page of Roman, of a guy on a horse, right, which is just like, it's very oddly juxtaposed with the other shit, because you're like, okay, Roman, all right, let's go. All right, like, this is like a hero's journey. We're gonna start with like the Roman warrior. This is like a warrior's quest. Start with Rome. Okay, what would be the next one? A knight in shining armor. What would be the next one after that? You know what I mean? Like, the progression of the warrior. That would be kind of cool. And it's like, all through the ages, warriors have existed, and this is the final talisman of the warrior, and like embedded in the sword is like the original fucking flint knife of the first caveman or something. You know what I mean? But no, it goes from like Spartan fucking Roman centurion on a horse. You flip the page, and it's like 9/11 across. Like, it shows like 3 crosses. So it's like you're referencing Christianity, and then you got there's like a little sliver of the American flag, like a couple of stars, red, white stripes, right? It's like, it's totally obvious. Like, it's not the complete American flag, but it's enough to subconsciously trigger Americana. And then it has like a 9/11. And it's like two towers burning, and then it flashes to the dude in the present, into the present, which is 10,000 years into the future. So like, hey, let's show a page of like weird 9/11 shit. Okay, which is just like, all right, and then you turn the page and oh, he's transformed. Okay, he's transformed into his outfit. Not like spaceship battles, not like, you know, last remnants of mankind starving, make it to a planet and then rebuild the civilization. You know, nothing fucking cool. None of those 10,000 years was fucking cool enough for fucking Malin to draw. Somebody who is supposed to be a fucking phenomenal artist, he's so fucking dope that like he can't be bothered to draw anything. He has to only draw dicks. So it's like, all right, well, this is where your artwork's gonna be. It's not. It's like totally like you're just flipping through it and it's like missed opportunity, missed opportunity, missed opportunity. Why is everybody's hands clenched? And then you get into the bad guys. And what do the bad guys show? They show like women and children like huddled together, and it's like the wording is something about fucking, you know, cannibalism and fucking rape, and it's just like in the fucking like I don't know, 60, 70 years of Doctor Doom publication, I've never needed to like be told that Doctor Doom is going to eat a child to be like, yo, that dude's fucking evil. Like I've never needed that. I'm like, you know, just have the fucking people in chains. If you have like a whole bunch of men and women in chains, right, and they're in rags, like that's enough. You know, I that's enough for me to be like, wow, like the people who get captured by these bad guys, they get it pretty rough. Like I don't need you to fucking explain it anymore, and it allows anybody not to be like, hey man, what about the kids? But like it does allow like kids to kind of pick it up. Like it's like freshman, it's like freshman story writing where like everything is put out there rather than like subtle. And it's like you're a fucking artist. Like if you just showed like a bunch of people chained up and was like, wow, if it was like a whole crowd and you had a mountaintop and on the mountaintop is the bad guy and then everybody else is on fucking cool John Malin designed fucking chains, you know, that would be fucking way more impactful than like a man and a woman and then a giant word fucking window of like raping and bestiality and fucking cannibalism. Maybe not bestiality in that one, but you know what I mean? There's like like the rape and cannibalism. It's just like I'm not saying be subtle, you know what I mean? I'm saying like, yo, draw some crazy shit, but like, do you need to add on the extra stuff? You know, it just seemed like kind of like over the top, and then it ends with like, now I have the sword, and then it fucking ends. So imagine like watching like a fucking Thundercat show, right? Which I mean, in a way, it is almost kind of like I feel like it's more of a ripoff of like that, where it's like human, it's a human based futuristic technology that's on a that's crashed on a planet. They're on like several planets that are very close to each other, and that's never explained. But they're very close to each other, and then like they're all in the same solar system. So like the humans show up into the solar system, and yeah, it just sucked. It was dog shit. So like, what was my favorite part? Like I read it. Like clearly I've read it. So it's just like, what the fuck? So imagine so they like Thundercats. They've crashed on a planet. Like Thundercats, they're advanced technology. They crashed on a planet. They've got a fancy pants sword. Okay. Same thing with Godlike, some sort of like fucking super advanced people. They crash on a savage world, and what do they have? They've got a fancy pants sword, and only one of them can use it. And he's got sort of a main kind of a thing going on. long hair like a lion. He's like, and then it's like, yeah, man, I really enjoy Thundar. And I'm like reading it, right? And like, I remember Thundar being on TV. Um, I remember watching that shit when it was on, right? And I remember like, yeah, super science, sorcery, and super science. I remember that always being cool. And he like literally lifts that up, like super science, and puts that into fucking Godlike. And it's like, that's your fucking Thundar reference? Is like, yeah, sorcery, super science. Ooh, I like that. Super science, super science. So yeah, so you have a super science civilization. They've crashed on a planet and they have a special sword. Sounds like Thundercats, right? So imagine you're watching Thundercats, and right when he's like, Thundercats, Thundercats, he starts activating the sword. Imagine him activating the sword, and then that being the end of the episode. That's basically what you get with Godlike. You get a whole bunch of shit. Like, he activates the sword. He gets flashbacks of 1990s America, and then kicks it back into the present, and then you end the book. Like, what? What the fuck is it? What? Why did you do that? Why did you give me fucking 5-6 pages of fucking blank black? And then not give me this guy fucking kicking it off with this fucking sword. That'd have been some crazy shit because it's almost like fucking Star Wars Rogue One. You could be like, man, Star Wars Rogue One fucking movie sucks. Yeah, but the last fucking 10 minutes when Vader's fucking chopping people up, that's fucking pretty dope. Like, I'll pull that up on YouTube. Be the same thing with fucking Godlike. You know what I mean? You got a whole fucking thing of like, oh, he's dealing with all kinds of shit. He finally gets the sword, and then and then you end the book. You should have gave me fucking 6 insane double fucking spread fucking battle scenes of this dude just like chopping people up, just fucking wrecking them with that sword in his new armor. Because that new armor is not hard to draw. So you could have done that shit. That shit would have been, like 2 months worth of work for somebody who is a professional, So I was not pleased with that shit. If I had like paid for it, I wouldn't have. Oh, you didn't pay for it? Then why are you talking shit? I can talk shit if I want to about anything if I want. If somebody wants to talk shit about my book after they've like snaked a book copy of it, and I know they have, I know that there was like a PDF of my book going around, and that some people read it. That's fine as long as they read it. But yeah, it was fucking trash, dude. Trash. So that was my favorite part of Godlike. Dude, you just put me on a rant. You put me on a rant. Quigley Down Under is good. That's a great. I'm not a big fan of Tom Selleck outside of Magnum PI though. I know he's been in other stuff. He's had an amazing career, but I love him as Magnum PI. I thought that was a great show. Because there was some shit going on in that show. They always had to have shit going on in those shows. I like the idea that he would like turn to the fucking audience, like he's like doing some shit, and he like looks into the audience. So he's like something crazy just happened, and he's just like he looks at you. I kind of like that gumshoey kind of like talking to the audience, because you can kind of tell somebody's attitude, like Harrison Ford's talkie and Blade Runner. He's just fucking pissed and like doesn't want to be there, and that like adds something to the character. And then Magnum PI just seems like happy-go-lucky. You know what I mean? Doesn't really stress too hard about shit. He was like a former SEAL or something. I think at this point in the early 80s, he's able to have been like a a 19-year-old SEAL in Vietnam, like fucking Jesse Ventura, and now he's just like a PI living on this dude's property in Hawaii, driving this dude's fucking car around. Because that's not his car. Magnum PI like drives around a fucking red Ferrari or Corvette or something, whatever it was, whatever the car was for that series. It like wasn't his. It was fuck. I don't remember the guy that he lived on. It was like somebody's property. Not it was like a famous writer's property, and he was never there. And he was always headbutting with Higgins, the fucking like butler or caretaker for this house. So Higgins was like, dude, you know what Higgins is? Higgins is like fucking Alfred. Like imagine if Alfred like fucking like didn't like Bruce Wayne. That's what it felt like. Like he did shit for Magnum PI. He would like show up like maybe Higgins was like former SAS. You know what I mean? He like knew how to sword fight. He had like control. He had trained dogs and shit. Like he like did the Hawaiian estate need security? No, because it had a Higgins. That's almost like with the Wayne Manor. Like before it like went teched out, it was like, oh, do you have security? No, we just have a fucking Pennywise. We just have an Alfred, like some fucking retired SAS guy who's just like retired and living his life out and chilling. So yeah, like Higgins. What the fuck was the name of the fucking owner of the estate? And they never like showed him. They never showed him, but that was always a fun thing. Mad Max, first three. I liked that last one. I don't know. Again, it's like I kind of not to be shitty with this stuff, but like I kind of go to see Mad Max movies to see Mad Max, and when it's like Furiosa, like I don't know. There were some parts of it that I liked, but I don't know. It wasn't for me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was for. I don't know. I didn't really like it. Bum, 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 bum. Thoughts on Tom Tuttle being pro-abortion? I don't know. Everybody's got their thing. I don't know. Wait a minute. Do you mean Tuttle or Buttle? Buttle or Tuttle? I just watched Brazil the other day. If you ever watch the movie Brazil, you'll get that reference. What did you do with my husband's body? Order her a sandwich, some chips on the side. That's what I'm saying. That's what I like to do, bro. I'll be like, I know my wife likes a turkey sandwich. I'll just like Uber that shit. She'll be like, yeah, turkey sandwich. I know she's not gonna eat the whole turkey sandwich. I'll just eat the other half. Everybody's happy. Should I? Drum roll. I know, dude. This is a long time coming. We've been 40 minutes, dude. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that, dude. I mean, it's just another weird thing with Ethan, and it's like, oh, look, Matt Barr got fucking banned on Kimstar, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, but at least you don't see me like throwing a friend under the bus for a like weird parasocial relationship with some fucking chick. You know, it's odd. Like, there's no reason why Ethan had to like fucking shit on Rick Ricada in the DMs to this lady, but he did. And then it all got like spilled out. So it's like, yeah, I got banned off of Kimstar, but look at you. You got fucking outed for fucking shitting on your friend to some chick. It's like, the fuck are you doing, dude? That's crazy. Crazy. Freaks and geeks. Oh, sugar my. Let's see. Text. Everybody saying hello to each other. Where is Raptor? Yeah, he was supposed to do a fucking show, and I haven't seen him. I have his number. It is possible. Hold on. Let me talk to you. Did you take? Nope. XO. Are you ready to watch this guy? Anybody want to hop on it? Let me just throw in the link one more time. Because I would like to start drawing once I start this. If anybody wants to. Carbon heart. Why does my spidey sense tingle? Spidey sense tingles with that fucking name. Who recommended Brazil to you? Nobody. I just have it on. Why did I watch it? I have it on DVD. I'm trying to remember why I watched it. Oh, okay. So, we had a storm, and the internet went out, and so, but we had like power. Like we had power, but the internet was down or something, and so I just pulled out a DVD, and that was like the first one that I was like, yeah, let me pull out fucking Brazil. I haven't watched that in a while. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Why I like it? I like the director, Terry Gilliam, right? Is that the guy's name? Time Bandits. He's done some other shit. Fisher King. I think he kept trying to do a Don Quixote movie, but Brazil. It's like futuristic, dystopian. It's got a lot of cool shit. I really like not really the costumes, but I like the just the overall aesthetics of it, the very crampedness of it. The computer monitors have like magnifiers to like magnify them, so it's like you're looking at like a little tiny TV, but it's got a giant piece of magnifying glass ahead of it, and this guy is having like dreams where he's dressed up in this like armored suit, like Icarus, so he's like dreaming that he's Icarus and he has his hair, but in real life he's like working in some department, some like middle department thing, but it's hard to describe the crampedness and the just the weirdness of it. So, I mean, at this point, like Robert De Niro has turned into a leftist fucking nut job. But so this guy, like, there's just such bureaucracy and such fucking paperwork and clutter that this guy calls up central services. Everything goes through central services, right? So imagine there just being like a one, like it's almost like Russian, like there's only like one thing, like one you call central services for everything. Like if you need a car, I don't know. So his AC is on the fritz, it stops, so he calls central services and it goes through. So he like leaves a message, and it's almost like they never show up, right? They don't show up or do or anything. And he like wakes up because he has his head in the fridge. Just a side note, I also like City of Lost Children. That's a fucking great movie. Both of these movies I like think about with like Batman. Like if they did like a cool Batman, like both of these like cities are very like fucking cool. But so he's got his head in the fridge and he gets like a fucking beep beep at the fucking door, and it's Robert De Niro as like a fucking special forces air conditioning repairman. Like he's got a fucking gun on this dude, and he's like, "Who are you fucking?" And he's got like a baklava, like a little ninja suit. So he's like dressed up like a fucking like Snake Eyes, and he comes in. And he's like, "Yeah, are you? Did you call about your AC?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "Oh, okay, hey." And he like pulls off his mask, and it's Robert De Niro with like a little tiny mustache. He looks like fucking Super Mario Brothers mixed with you know the fucking Solid Snake, right? What the fuck is that? Metal Gear Solid. That's right. It's like if you took Metal Gear Solid and combined it with Super Mario Brothers, that's what fucking Robert De Niro looks like in this movie. And he and so he comes in and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to fucking fix your AC." And so as he's fixing the AC, he's like, what's the deal with you? And he's like, "Oh man, look, I want to be an AC guy, in and out. I want the adventure, but I didn't want to work for Central Services because of all the paperwork." Um, and then he was like, I couldn't even look at your paperwork or look at your pipes if I didn't have an HGX-37 paperwork filled out, right?" And he's like, "Okay." And so as he's like fixing this dude's AC on the down low, like black market AC repair, Central Services shows up, and it's Bob Hoskin, the guy who does play Super Mario in the Super Mario movie. He shows up and is like, "Yeah, hey, Central Services, we're here to fix your shit." And he has to like do this fucking cat and mouse kind of thing because they want to come in, and he's like, "Oh no, it's fixed." And they're like, "What do you mean it's fixed?" And he's like, "No, no, it's fine. It fixed itself." And they're like, "ACs don't fix themselves, man." And they're like, "Yeah, can we come in and look?" And like while they're trying to come in, Robert De Niro, Buttle is like in the living room with a pistol and a silencer. So then the guy, Jonathan Price is the actor. He is like, "Hey, do you have that, HGTX 75 dash?" And the guys are like, "What? You piece of shit. We'll be back." So they leave, and then Tuttle's like, "Hey man, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man." And say what? It's Father's Day, and there's a bug on the ceiling. So give me 1 second. Dude, Baron Munchausen, talk amongst yourselves in the chat. Baron Munchausen. What do you mean by that? In the city. Oh, in the city. Hit that like and share. We got 18 people. Like and share. Like and share. All right. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready? I think there's some shilling of John stuff. I think that's only natural. Yeah, sometimes even heroes. Oh shit! Little bit of hanky panky.
Join the more than 7 million adults, like Maria, who've taken Ozempic.
What is
I
this
was diagnosed
shit?
with type 2 diabetes 10
Commercials.
years ago. It was overwhelming, but it didn't stop me
Oh,
from opening my goals.
exam.
And this
I
is what
do.
my
Does anybody like
Ozempic
to have their
hair
hair
looks
washed?
like.
Doesn't
I'm
that feel
lowering
good?
my A1C, and I lost some weight too. I
Hey,
also
good for you. You should lose some more.
Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Longbox. Forgive me, I'm super tired. For those of you who are watching this in the future,
I gotta
it's
get John a
11
new
p.m.
fucking
Eastern Standard
mic.
Time, and I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. I worked some overtime today. Can't say no to the extra money. And then
John.
I come home. Liam asked, "Hey, you want to talk?" I said, "Sure." We agreed on a time, and then we both kind of got a little sleepy. So there you go.
A little bit of sleepy time for the koala guy, and I screwed it all up. And I'm sorry. Sorry for keeping you.
Yeah, like I said,
Don't strike
we
me,
checked
man.
a little bit, getting
I'm
ourselves
watching.
up to speed, and we really don't know each other too well. Coincidentally, my only interactions with Liam, we were both on EVS's channel. I think I was on twice, and both times Liam was in a panel. I was like one of 12 people, so I don't expect you to remember me.
Yeah.
But so it's good to see you. And like I said, I don't have my normal energy going. I'm literally about to go to bed. So, what do you want to talk about?
So it has come to my fluffy little koala ears that and please correct me if I am wrong. Your belief is that ComicsGate is harmful to the independent comic book space and a detriment to it.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to talk about that. Sure. So let me know what you think. Like, let's. What's your stance?
Okay. Well, let's start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
ComicsGate at the beginning. I don't claim. I was one of your boy Zach's earliest fans, but at the time I thought he was the founder of ComicsGate. I've since been corrected. Like there was Captain Cummings and all those people. But
that was me. That was me.
I don't know.
You wouldn't know, but I actually a little bit of ComicsGate deep lore is I used to talk to Captain Cummings on Stephen Crowder's Mug Club about this stuff before he had a channel.
Mug Club. I haven't heard that guy's name in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I fucking doubt that.
Sorry, go on.
No, I didn't know, so whatever. But
it's okay. Yeah.
And at the time, it was a customer
exactly whatever.
Comic pros acting unprofessional towards the fans. Okay, not accepting criticism, not doing anything. Are we in agreement so far?
Just yes.
Okay. So somewhere along the way, it stopped being that.
Mm.
Well, that's where I think we have our first deviation, and is like,
Comics.
why did it stop? Why did it stop becoming that? Why did it stop?
We'll
being,
get to that, but we need
Yeah.
to. I want to ask you this right now: is ComicsGate a fan revolt against mainstream comics, upset fans who don't like what's going on?
I would say definitely at its core.
This is my
what
first
it
time.
really is now, maybe not so much as when we were doing Move the Needle and stuff. But I mean, I'm a fan first in this year.
Is it a fan reaction to bad comics?
I would say that it's I'd say that it's a solution to bad comics. I'd say it's an
No,
opportunity.
it's not what
to-
it was originally, then, correct? So
Well, I mean, it's not a kind of flash in the pan movement. It's become something
say that.
stable.
but
you
it's
know, it's-
not what it originally. It was fans reacting to pros. Is it still
Fan
fans?
reacting to pros purely? Well, I mean, it is fans still reacting to pros, but in different ways. But yeah, I would say, yeah, we can. I'll give you ground on that. I'll go. Okay, it's
So
changed.
it's no
it's
longer
shifted.
fans reacting to pros.
I mean, they still are every day is the issue, but let's go along
It's
with
a
that.
simple
We'll say,
yes
okay,
or no question. Is ComicsGate still fans reacting to pros?
then I have to say yes, because every single
Yes.
day, all I hear about is everyone talking about pros. So it's like,
So,
that's like, yeah,
so
mostly a lot of the focus
so
now
which-
is inwards on
which pros-
ComicsGate.
which
But like,
fans? And right now it's ComicsGate. So Ethan Van Sciver, he's the trademark hold. He's talking about pros right now. He's reacting to Marvel, DC, mainstream. He's accepting criticism. He's accepting customer reactions.
yeah, I would
Oh,
say
he is?
yeah.
Okay, then how come
Yeah.
I didn't get my refund for Rainbow the Brute that I've asked for 12 times?
Well, that's a
God
to
damn!
speak from in that regard.
Fair enough. You're not a psychic. Okay, so because at one point it was a group of fans, and I was
Liam Gray.
Even though
He could start the ComicsGate movement, but he couldn't stop the emus.
We agree so far. So I never liked the name.
Yeah, it's a silly, like once things get a name, it's like I've never been much of a joiner. It's but whatever. But I was proud to be in it. I thought it needed to be in it. I was disgusted with Marvel. Everybody's gay. Everybody's transgender. And then the fans are telling you to eat shit and stuff like that. Can't help it.
Yeah, I don't like those transcenders.
So
Queers and
it was a fan reaction
transcenders.
and
Yeah.
God damn shit. Fuck this game. Look at it. It makes me want to have a fucking epileptic seizure. I see that trailer. It makes me want to bite down on a fucking belt.
Joined, which is fine. That was exciting. That was
Yeah,
exciting.
It was exciting.
That legitimized everything. And next thing you know,
I personally don't agree. I personally don't agree with that statement, but it has been said over and over again. At the time it sort of happened, everyone's like, "Oh, this sort of legitimizes things," but that sort of said to me, as someone who was here from the start, that the cause was not legitimate in the first place until we had some sort of
I'll buy that
industry thing, and I didn't agree with that ever at any point. I really felt like it was a legitimate concern, and you can look at how the comic book industry has atrophied and suffered as a result of the consequence of the very thing.
Where's the receipts of Liam Gray at the beginning of ComicsGate starting it all?
Actually, a very good point.
Does he have any of that? Is there anybody? Does anybody have it?
But it was exciting that former pros started coming, and to me, it was like a bolt out of blue when
So like it's like while he was in the Bigfoot community, he was also making ComicsGate.
was Jawbreakers.
Yeah.
Richard T. Myers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say that was.
Again,
that
I don't
was the
seem to
main
know
standout.
everything, and my memory is shit these days. So
Well, that's why we did Avatar.
oh my god, I was so excited. A former X-Men artist is going to be drawing this. This was exciting, man, and I was glad to be in it. I couldn't wait to get my, I paid for it, and I got
Dude, I was a fan of Thunderbolts. Like Thunderbolts is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite series of all times, but I'd definitely say it's one of the ones from my high school era that I really enjoyed. And I'd known John Malin from that, and I thought, oh wow, that's awesome. I was really excited to see.
I still like his art.
Especially, I don't know how well you do know Zach, but I'd seen Zach's earlier work. I was familiar with Zach's original sort of take on comics, and they weren't stellar. I'll just say that. You know what I mean?
Chosen?
No. What was it called? Oh God, I can't remember. I know the covers off the top of my mind.
I got Chosen, his book about the.
I don't think it was called Chosen. I don't think so.
The battle in the battle in the Korean War, not the TV show or anything.
No. I think it might have even been Jawbreakers before it was Jawbreakers. You know what I mean?
Jawbreakers was his first like crowdfunded book. He did Chosen through the mainstream press. They misprinted it, the price or anything like that. So he got screwed. He took a beating on that. So I bought a copy of that. Wasn't good, but you know what? Everybody starts out someplace. So
that's right.
So I was excited. I got Jawbreakers. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I couldn't wait for the second issue. I got Iron Sights. I enjoyed it. Everything was moved. Next thing you know, other people are making comics. Next thing you know, Cyberfrog is being announced. Like I backed Cyberfrog. You know, it was exciting. We are changing comics.
I spent without any sort of exaggeration, just to put things in scale, I spent $37,000 on various crowdfunding projects boosting up independent creators.
How much
during this era? $37,000 US.
I didn't spend that much.
I know, but it's like I was really pushing hard for independent creators to do well in this space because
37,000.
It was the closest thing that the modern comic book industry had to an image revolution from the 90s.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
So that's where I sort of.
You think you'd have a whole fucking wall of shit
like the Max or Spawn or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to come out of this space.
Can I just say something for a minute? I am enjoying that John's shelving is structured and it's got some structure to it, some supports, while Liam's is just bowed and hanging the fuck down. Like, you could just see it, like, fucking, definitely right here, you could just see it fucking bowing down. It looks like a arrow going through his head, too. Like those old, like, toy arrows, that you would, like, joke prank arrows you put on to make it look like you got shot through the head with an arrow. That's kind of what it looks like right there. But it's fucking bent as fuck. I don't know. I would maybe put a piece of wood right there, something. Anyways,
that's what everybody. Yeah,
that's what I want.
That's what everybody with like myself with a $4,000 crowdfund is hoping for.
Yep.
Yeah. Levi's skiing 37,000. Hell, the chat. Hey Zaid, how you doing? Yeah, I know. Liam wore a suit and I wore a dirty T-shirt. I wish I knew he was wearing a suit. He made me look bad. So anyway. I
wasn't going to, but I thought, you know what? This is the first time we're having a conversation, and this is something I want to really seriously sort of get into the bones of. So let's go suit.
I lost my train of thought. Forgive me for staying up.
Jawbreakers.
So anyway, it just became EVS's show. Can we agree on that?
I'd say that EVS became the most popular person in the movement for sure. And he became the sort of the gathering point and the main sort of center of the town center, I would say for sure.
Right. And then, and it was so much fun watching his little clips about making fun of Gail Simone, and you don't like it, don't buy my book, Gail, whatever her name is,
Here's how a doctor treats toenail fungus without a prescription. If your toenail fungus came back,
wash your feet.
I was actually working on the George Washington Bridge, and it was a 2.5-hour commute. I would listen to all of his stuff. on the way there and on the way back.
There was a lot of fun in those early days.
What am I nitpicking?
I drew everyone there. Like, I remember the airport stream, if you remember that, where he's like, everyone's throwing in super chats for him to buy drinks for people at the airport. You've got the
derp,
where we're raising
so
money
high
for wall cancer. You know, we've got the
fucking the sloping of the shelves.
Days, you know, everyone was still finding
Yeah.
themselves and figuring out. Phil was still new.
And
Everyone's still sort of starting out. It was good.
So around this time, you got kicked out.
Just saying, you got a little kid. It's not safe.
I don't
Not
know
safe to have droopy hanging shelves with shit while you have little kids.
Bunch of situations that I was not adept at handling. So basically, I'd been sort of in a position where I was, I guess, you know, HR. No, not HR. I was sort of like, I got along with everyone. I was kind of like the guy that sort of was buddies with everyone. You know what I mean? I wanted to see everyone win, everyone on. And there were fractures and cracks within the community that were occurring. And I observed this and I thought, you know what? I want to sort this out because what's happening is we're not focused outwards on the Marxist threat that is intruding upon our, you know, our essentially our efforts. And we're more worried about fighting with each other for silly reasons that is costing everyone money. So I stupidly set up a show, which was to resolve things, where I could essentially mediate conflicts between people and try and get them sorted out so that it would ultimately be squashed and people would publicly see, oh, I don't have to hate this guy because...
It's not really what it sounded. It was more of like a blood sports thing, right? Like he was monetizing people's beefs and like nothing ever really got solved. Am I wrong? Like, didn't it just like it got shittier and shittier? Like, nobody ever like left that show like happy. And there he was sitting in the same suit.
Because these two people are no longer fighting with each other. You know what I mean? That was the goal. That is not what I created. I instead set in motion a fucking Frankensteinian disaster.
So EVS, the bottom line is EVS said you're out of the group. You're out of the group.
No, EVS never kicked me out of the group. What actually happened was I got dogpiled by a whole bunch of motherfuckers, right? I got really popular really fast, but for the wrong reasons. And
okay.
I shut down my channel. Because I was like, hey, I don't want to be doing this.
You were exiled from a fan group.
I was exiled from a fan group largely because of bullshit involving Nasser Abadi. Because I'd been sent things about things that he had said about that Umbrella guy's daughter.
There was no leader that said the leader said this guy's cool, and all the fans reacted, or did a leader say you can't be in, and then the fans followed?
Well, I more sort of got jumped on by everyone because I started being made fun of. I started like
by who?
A bully bullied you, and then everybody piled on. Yeah, that's essentially I would say what happened. But I do really believe that Ethan was more of a follower than a leader in that scenario. Is the thing like.
Wow, so he didn't even John didn't even have to, like, you could see John was kind of like leading him into being like, yeah, so who was leading that? And now Liam is like, Ethan, let me talk about Ethan. He wasn't really the leader in that. Let me go ahead and just put all the blame on JDA. Watch. He's like a ginger Hank McCoy, for real. I know I've used that reference before for fucking mental gymnastics, but this is fucking funny as shit.
It was largely other people that were responsible for this. You know, I was caused grief by guys like Mike S. Miller, who at the time I was supporting and you know, like pretty regular there. You know,
and like all this drama, like I wasn't even around. All this drama was way before I showed up. So like,
much I really put.
It's not me.
And time I took. I wasn't welcome on Kings or the larger streams.
Nobody was
in a
welcome
Type
on
2
Kings at
raised,
that time, except for pros.
72 or something $1,000, 78, whatever it was, 78,000. I don't know.
When you think work, you think boots.
Yes, I
You
do.
think boots. You think
Think
ending
boots.
the day with the same number.
Like purely based on the smaller community that existed there, where it was a bunch of guys coming up, like Bill's in the chat.
What
and
book was this?
My very first book's Inner Type Dreamcatcher.
Right. Did it ship?
So,
Did people get it?
On time, yes. It was.
Okay, I just gotta ask because I don't know. know.
Yeah, no, yeah. It shipped. It was shipped on time. It was one of the few books to ship on time. It was a 200-page manga volume.
So it was one of the few books that shipped on time. So you're admitting there's already now a problem with late books.
Yeah, I would say that there definitely is. I have a late book right now in the form of Wonder Island. Now, I never gave a release date for it, but it's been in development for 4 years. But it has been, yeah, man, 4 years. I'd say it's. No, I don't. But there is a huge, tremendous thing.
Do you think that fans are legitimately upset that they paid for something and didn't get it?
I don't think that many people are legitimately concerned.
But
I think that
most if one person is upset, do you think that person has the right to be upset?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And has the right to express it, and has the right to ask for a refund.
Right. Do you refund? Is my Joey Lawrence book?
I have
refunded
every single person who has.
You need to talk to Chris about his shit. Dude had to get his fucking refund through the bank.
The book because they personally didn't like me now or something. And
yes. Okay. I agree with that. You got the book, especially from Australia to, I assume, the United States.
Yeah, it was undamaged. There was no issues with it, but you just don't like me.
Watched
and you
the
want to
movie, you didn't like.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not fucking true with Chris. That's not true.
So I do that. I do refund. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you do agree that if somebody is upset with the book being late, you should be gracious and say, I'm sorry. You know.
Yes, and I have done so. Yeah.
All right. So when I complained, and I said my book shipped on time. Actually, my book shipped 3 weeks late. You know, that was my fault. I put in a wrong file, and then I complained about it. And now I'm a cunt, according to this guy over here. I'm a cunt. I'm a complainer. So I complained. I went on Instagram. I asked for refunds. And I got to say,
there's multiple people. There's multiple people.
Got to give credit where credit is due. But other books, nothing. No response. Nothing. People who make $2 million don't have anybody to respond. And then when I complain on Twitter, I'm dogpiled. I'm yelled at. I'm looking at this chat right here. I'm calling.
I'm not doing this to stir you up. This is a genuine question.
Right.
Did you go through the correct means to request a refund request? Did you email?
Look at this. What the fuck is wrong with you, comic book?
And put them on blast.
I just Friday. This has been going on for weeks. So just Friday is the first time I requested a refund. I mean, on Twitter, I went through Instagram, you know, no updates. And then every time anybody says anything, they complain. So Eric July shows up out of the blue, because I literally never heard of Eric July. I believe it or not, I keep my Twitter and YouTube circles small.
Pretty tight, yeah.
Because
Eric July is an example of what Malin and Ethan were preaching. You know, Grab an Oar has like morphed and evolved into all kinds of shit, but it's like build a platform and then put out your book, right? Like that was like something that they were pushing, like, hey, have your own channel. Don't rely on Ethan. Don't rely on Malin to show your shit. You need to have your own platform. You need to present your own platform. So for years, Eric July has had a show where he fucking had, DC shit in his background. He was complaining about fucking Marvel. He was doing all the same shit that Zach was doing, except for he was showing his face and had some more production value involved. He's not coughing inside the car while he's eating Taco Bell. Eric built a platform. He built an audience. He talked about political shit. He talked about the woke. He talked about liberalism. libertarianism, all that stuff, you know, blah, 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 blah. He talked about all that shit, built up a platform, and then released a book, and then released another book, and then released a book, and then a statue, and then released another book, and then a cartoon, and then another statue, and then a book, and then another book. So the guy, I'm not sure where like the grift is. It seems like Eric July, like I haven't bought any of Eric July's shit. So Eric July seems to have like just kind of taken what they were preaching and like actually applied it, like built a platform, then fucking released a product, a book. You know, I mean, and then each book is a little bit better. That first book, that second book, you know, then, you know, and he started hiring people. So, you know, I don't know. It seems he seems to have been doing what they were preaching.
I just want to talk about comic books.
Yeah.
I hear this guy
Terrapin.
comic books, and what he's
Locally
saying
brewed
really appealed to me. There's gonna dead means dead. There's gonna be continuity.
Yeah, he copied all of my talking points from Xenotype.
He stole it all from you.
He stole it. No, I'm not
Is
even
he
joking.
serious?
He stole the
He's
three
not
series of
joking.
Conquest Comics
Okay.
and literally ran with the same model as I had done and said the same
Well,
things.
it's a good idea. I'm going to do the same thing.
He stole that. He's saying that
Continuity,
Eric
dead means
July
dead.
stole
You know what I mean?
his
I don't
creed.
even remember and then
The three
came
C's.
out. I didn't particularly like it. Eric July came on my channel. He was gracious. We talked.
Wow.
He came back
What
the
an
second
idiot.
time. He was gracious. We talked. I bought the second item. I didn't like it. And I directly asked him a question. What does ISOM mean? And
So I'm saying, dude, like whether you like the books or not, like he produces them and sends them out.
Your character means I didn't,
You know?
I didn't like it. And everybody knows, even the Ripper guys know I don't like the Ripper comics. Eric July never got mad at me. He never complained. He never said anything. Matter of fact, he probably doesn't even remember I exist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It became a cottage industry where the CG guys, when I say CG guys, I'm talking about, you know, the solar sun and everybody else's orbiters around the human sunbeam. It's been a year of trash cast, years talking about trash, and his subscriber count went down. When I say his, I'm talking about Ethan Van Sciver. I see that he's
nothing appeals to me, dude. I've even had a talk with fucking dude. I've even had private DMs with Eric. You know, I've signed a NDA. You know, because at some point, like I guess I will do a cover for him. But right now, there's just like nothing that appeals to me, and it's not a fuck you. It's just the ISOM thing. I'm just not into like superhero stuff right now. You know, I'm not into it, and that's not a fuck you. It's just I'm not buying other shit either. I'm not like, yeah, I'm not into superhero stuff, and then I go over to Marvel and I buy some superhero shit. Fuck. Okay, I did buy some Captain Marvel yesterday. Whatever. I'm already talking my own shit. I did buy some Captain Marvel yesterday. So, I mean, is it Captain America shit? It's not really superhero shit. It's not really cape shit. It's just like old school Marvel stuff that I wanted to get a hold of and read through. I've also been reading Transformers. That shit's been pretty dope. I got the first one. This one. This is rad, man. It's rad as shit. And like it's like the way the guy draws the robots and shit, it's like it's still organic. You know what I mean? Like the robotics and like if it's correct is like secondary. He's maintaining that. And like when I was drawing that Last of the Seekers, that was where I was like, fuck. I was like, this guy's all boxy. Like, how do you fucking draw these boxes and shit? Like this guy, like just fucking stretches shapes and shit like that. He's amazing. I love his shit. Are you going to my fucking chat, Matt? I got a super chat it. I guess. I don't even know what you're talking about. You didn't have to. I'm just trying to avoid fucking drama. Like, honestly, Matt, I think your art skills need to come back into the CG indie creator fold. Squash the bullshit. I mean, I was the one who was pushed out. Like, I was the one who Ethan decided to put a target on because he preferred to have Riley and Mint Salad around. That's basically how it all started, dude. And how it all just, like, if you let that snowball fucking melt, right? If you let that snowball melt down, like, it'll be about fucking Riley suggesting that he comes to my house and does some crimes. He starts doing streams where he's buying rape kits, where he's going to come to my house. Right? So, like, he's doing rape streams and Ethan's popping up on his stream. He fucking sends a whole bunch of like DMs to me like, hey, I'm not joking. I'm going to commit crimes against your family. People are going to laugh about what I'm going to do, blah, 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 blah. Right? So I just like block them. Like, instead of like raging, instead of getting crazy, I just like, I blocked them. Right? I blocked Riley. So me blocking Riley, I guess, however the fucking Twitter works, however the algorithm works, it kicked him out of the CG green room, right? Ethan brought him into the CG green room. It kicked him out, right? So so while he got kicked out, he started getting super pissed. Then Mint Salad, she starts fucking raging on Twitter and in the green room, the CG green room, right? Because like, she got brought in because they're just giving Ethan a bunch of super chats, right? Super chat. So she starts losing her shit on Twitter and in the green room. I'm like, I'm not fucking dealing with it. Like, I'm not gonna fight with some dude who's like, I'm gonna come and rape you. So I blocked the guy. Like that's the feature. Like, it's like Matt Barr fights everybody, and then the one time where I'm like, I'm not fighting with this guy. This shit's fucking crazy. Like, it snowballs into this. So she fucking loses her mind, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I block her on Twitter, which like kicks her out of the green room, which was not my intention, right? Like, there's no like, I wasn't sitting there going, I'm gonna try to kick them out of the green room. Like, fucking no. Like, I'm on Twitter and this woman's losing her fucking mind, right? And I'm going to go ahead and block it because I'm not going to start fighting with some fucking autistic chick online. I'm not. So I block her. And so what happens? Both of them run off to Ethan and fucking start crying about getting kicked out of the green room. And so what does Ethan do? Ethan kicks me out of the green room, right? And then shows up on their rape streams. So I'm not sure what kind of like bullshit I'm supposed to squash, but you know, the amount of shit that I've done in CG, I mean, I don't again and again, this is something where it's like I don't have a problem with ComicsGate. I never had a problem with ComicsGate. My problem was with Ethan and with what he was doing, where it's like suddenly I'm being ostracized, and like just like with Liam is saying, but he won't be honest about it. Like when you have Zach, like Zach will like talk some shit, but then he'll be like, all right, don't talk about them. This is a cue to not DM them. I'm not asking you to fucking start, you know, DMing these people that I'm talking shit about. Like Zach says that, but like Ethan like incites people. So suddenly, you know, because I'm like, you know what, Ethan, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm not gonna draw your fucking shit. Like, if you're gonna be a fucking weirdo about stuff, like if you're gonna show up on, if somebody is going, yeah, here's a bag and here's some rope. I'm going to fucking show up at Matt's house and rape him. And you show up and you're like, hey, guys, how's it going? Oh, hey, Ethan, how are you? Oh, I'm great. You guys are like, Donnie Marie. This is fantastic. Like, I'm not going to fucking work for you. And that's my right, to be like, you know what, dude? I don't think I'm going to draw your fucking My Little Pony book. So to be like, hey, man, how about you come back into the fold? Like, you're saying, hey, man, how about you take the whole last year of like the rape jokes and the weird like insinuations with my wife and shit. Like, the whole like, oh, Matt Barr, you're an asshole. You talk about people's wives. Like, Liam went after my wife first, and Ethan fucking went after my wife for months, dude. The whole like, oh, he has a head wound and he can't talk to anybody unless it's his wife. It's like all that shit was fucking made up. And to be like, hey, man, you should just totally be chill so you could be part of ComicsGate. I'm okay with not like, oh, become part of the indie like fold. Like, everything I'm doing, I don't need Ethan. Like, I don't need to pretend that I'm canceled, because I'm not. And I don't want to be. And that was never my intention to like pretend like I don't have any other options. Like, that's just fucking crazy. Like, I have my day job, which is fucking dope. And then I am working on Rock and Roll Ninja Part 2. Don't need fucking Ethan. That shit's mine. People are like, make your own book. Like, dude, the amount of effort and time that I put into Rock and Roll Ninja and Rock and Roll Ninja 2 compared to fucking Dino King or fucking anybody else's shit, it's like, dude, you can't stack them together. They don't even belong on the same fucking coffee table. So, I'm not going back into that. I don't need to. I really don't. After I finish Rock and Roll Ninja 2, we got another book called Wester. Some sci-fi shit. Like, finally, I'm drawing spaceships. I'm doing some cool shit. And you got me heated and I'm drinking liquor. Not really liquor. I'm drinking beer, but you know who lives up the street from me? Bob Burden. So guess what I get to be doing at some point this year? I'm going to be doing shit I'm going to be drawing Flaming Carrot. We've already been talking about it. He's been over to my house for dinner several times. Just a matter of fucking working out the script. But yeah, I'm going to be penciling it. He'll come over, work out the pencils. He's going to be writing the script, and I'm going to be doing some fucking Flaming Carrot shit. Like, it just works, right? So like to like pretend that I'm canceled, like, no, like the idea was to be like, ComicsGate's the fucking shit. We're fucking not down with bisexual Batmans and gay Supermans, and we're coming back into the mainstream. Not turning away from the mainstream, but fucking becoming good enough to be part of the mainstream and being that push in mainstream. Like, I don't know how, like, I'm working on Dino King. I'm doing Dino King. Like, I don't know what kind of like bullshit that is and how that's going to push the needle. The needle is going to get pushed by being vocal about conservative, basic American fucking shit, and then getting back into the mainstream, not pretending that we're fucking canceled. Like, Ethan should be like, all right, well, fuck you, DC. Like, I voted for Trump. Fuck you. Now I'm going to go work for Marvel and make several $1 million. Like, I'm not saying like this Cyberfrog, but it's like, no, like to be like, yeah, I got shut out and canceled. You fucking built that industry. You put 20 years of your fucking life in there to just fucking walk away. No wonder your fucking first wife left you, dude. No wonder she just fucking bounced on you, dude, because you fucking suck. You're a fucking total bitch. You're a berry sucking bitch, dude. So, I think we got somebody. All right, Carbon. Hold on for a second. I got this set up, okay? Hold on. Look at that. There we go. Look at that. You see that? See, I went from this seat. I put you right there.
Nice.
What's going on, dude?
You put me on the panel. There you go.
Why not?
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing good. So you're asking me to like kind of swallow a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of shit for I'm not really sure what, like to be on Ethan's stream. You know, like what would be my benefit at this point?
Well, you know, it's interesting. That's your interpretation of what I'm saying, because what I said, basically I'm trying to make amends, right? But then your interpretation of it is swallowing your pride, swallowing all the bullshit, and that's not really what I said. You know, I said your art, it has value, and I think it's time for you to come back into the fold, because there's a lot of people in CG who know that, you know, you were cool and you got good art, you're a good artist, and that it was a misunderstanding, right? And another way of looking at it is like, oh, I gotta swallow the shit of some people. Well, not necessarily, right? Because you could still maintain your stance. You could still maintain, you know, I'm not happy with X, Y, and Z, and be able to collaborate with other people in CG. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, man. I mean, because like
it'd have to be some both sides though. It'd have to be a two-way street, you know. I don't know. I would. Yeah, man. Just some of the shit that's been said, some of the shit that's been incited. It's.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it's like you're like, yo, into the ComicsGate fold, and it's like, well, I'm still kind of doing stuff. I'm still doing stuff with people, but the number of campaigns have gone down. You know, there's not really a lot of like movement in ComicsGate anymore.
Oh yeah, there is, man. It's just not on the main. It's just not on the main channels, but on the you know, we got the secondary channels. A lot of people do. They got their own books going on. But what I was going to say is that by this point, there's been some bad blood built up, right?
Yeah,
with all the tweets and shit.
Crazy bad blood, dude. Crazy bad blood. Just like it's like bad blood that has like coagulated into black bricks. Like that's fucking the level of bad.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I would be able to like sit on a fucking on a panel with fucking like Katie did, or I don't know. I don't really like most of these people that are on the CG Kings right now.
Yeah. Well,
like when you say like collaborate, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like,
well,
like working with fucking Bosch Foreskin or fucking like drawing something for fucking Liam Gray. Like, you'd be cool, Met Bars, if you like, you know, just sucked up everything Liam Gray has said and you drew Dino King Part 2 for him. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not sure like where.
Well, I wouldn't imagine that the people that you had direct conflict with, it wouldn't be able to resolve easily. I get that. But like I said, there's a lot of other CG creators going on that they're still doing stuff, and they're not really on the main channels. They're secondary, they're tertiary, and it's unfortunate nobody's really paying attention to them. But you know, they're out there. They're still, you know, they got their channels, they're doing shows, and that's what I'm talking about. Because you know, the collective of artists and writers, they still,
I had like a long running TV show, not TV show. What the fuck? I had a show on my channel, called Freaking Awesome, and I had tons of people on, tons of like new
Well, I
artists,
mean, hey,
tons
I'm
of
actually
like people. I had like B.A. Turner on. I had that Richard Umbry on. I had like it was wide open for everybody. Like when I heard Liam Gray was coming back into CG, he would have been fucking allowed on there. Like it was wide open, And
well,
then
I'm still
fucking you. Then suddenly I'm watching. I'm like, yo, B.A. Turner's like talking mad shit about me. Like, oh my god, like
oh.
Richard Umbry's talking mad shit about me, and so I don't know, man. I like stopped like supporting these people because it's like I don't know I don't know if their motives are the comic book or if it's like clout within the community. Because sometimes people just like start shit just to like dogpile. It's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, I would imagine it depends on what's going on at that moment on Twitter, because Twitter's kind of the main forum for the battles that go on. But I'm actually still subscribed to your channel. That's how I'm still aware of when you're doing live streams. And yeah, I'm aware of the freaking awesome stream.
It was a great stream. Yeah. It went from freaking awesome to freaking awesome. I mean, it kind of, but I think we got up to what, like a year worth of streams, up to like 50
it's
something.
crazy.
Yeah,
time flies.
I had a blast, dude. That was so fun, and like I totally like took it as a job, and it
man.
being but I don't know, man. Now it's just like I'm not involved in anybody's shit unless I'm working on it. I'm only gonna be promoting my stuff. I'm only gonna,
Well,
but I'm not streaming that much because I'm just kind of like slowly working on Rock and Roll Ninja. Not slowly, but
part 2.
Yeah, because we want to have it finished before we announce it at the end of the year, so that way there's no late book. Like it's literally, you're ordering Rock and Roll Ninja. It's already done. We're just, printing is happening as we. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Eric July. He killed that whole concept though, with that whole like, oh, when you order it, it's already ready to go. And he killed
that a little bit of that, and a little bit of like I felt really bad that my book was late. Like my book was like 2 years late, 2.5 years late. So I felt bad about that. So I want to make sure that the next time, the next book that it's not late, and and he's smart where he's a lot of the money that was made for the first book from the first book just gets like rolled over into the sequel, so yeah, it's fine.
Well, I mean, look, obviously I can't fault anybody for having a book ready to go, but I'm getting tired of everybody shitting on the crowdfunding model and being like, oh no, like we have the book ready to go, as opposed to you funding the book. I mean, crowdfunding kickstarting started as being like, hey, you're gonna fund a project, so that we can get it out to you.
I get that part, and I think that's like part of it, which I'm not understanding. I'm not sure about the Rob Hunter stuff or the Jimmy Reyes stuff. I don't want to speak on that, but it's like if part of your budget is, hey, we're gonna and I'm talking out of pocket. I'm wearing fucking pajamas and I'm talking out of pocket. So just FYI, hail Zaid, hail real people in the chat who have actually done stuff. But it's like if that's part of the campaign money is paying for that artist, right? So if you're the artist, you should only be taking out of that account when you finish a page, right? Like, hey, like my, here's my budget for my book is going to be, $400 a page, and that includes writing, coloring, lettering and inking, penciling. Everything comes out of that $400, right? So if I'm penciling that book as the creator, or if I'm writing that book as the writer, like I get paid as I'm writing that book, right? Because that's part of what has been budgeted to produce that book.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that's really all you should be fucking nibbling at. Like if you're like, okay, I finished fucking 12 pages, I pay myself for those 12 pages. Not like, yo, let me go buy a fucking PlayStation 5, right?
Well, yeah, the whole lateness thing is what kind of killed it, damaged the crowdfunding reputation. Because once things got like 2 years late, it's like, what's going on? You know, what are you spending the money on?
Well, it's not just the late shit, but it's also like the refusal of fucking refunds. Like if you go to Rainbow the Brute, like there's just people commenting about fucking refunds and asking for refunds. People are then going on to fucking his show and super chatting and asking for refunds.
Yeah,
I mean, what is more fucked up? What is more fucked up? And this is a serious question, Carbon. What's more fucked up? A 3D asset couch on a comic book that's delivered, or not getting a refund on a book that you paid for 5 years ago. Which is worse?
The refund has to have a time limit, though. Hold on.
Dude, is there not a time limit on the book? If this book is like fucking.
But wait a minute. Hold on. I'm being honest. I'm being honest with you.
But I hear what you're saying. You're like, hey, man,
there's got to be a time limit.
Refunds are only the first 90 days of the campaign.
Yeah, but
not if you talk to your bank.
Your book is fucking 5 years late, right?
I get that, like, but at the same time, the refund.
Which is worse?
The refund has a time limit, though. Because
no, it doesn't.
If anybody's
talk to your bank,
because both suck.
Who's talking now?
Mr. Patrick T. So
yeah,
both suck.
God almighty.
A 3D asset couch is like, bro. What
if you ask for a refund past 90 days, but what I'm saying is, if you ask for a refund past 90 days, you're being unrealistic because the funds are transferred and it's over. Like you're not gonna get a refund. If you ask for it earlier, if you ask for a refund,
people to refund his project.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And hold on. Went to his bank and got a refund. You bet your ass.
If you ask for a refund right away, by all means, you get the refund.
Basically, it was a fraud.
But 3 months later, come on, guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, but what if your expectations are like, yo, 90 days came and gone, no problem. It's Indiegogo. These books take a time. Like Rainbow the Brute. What if Rainbow the Brute, you're at 5 years late? You're kind of disillusioned. You're not sure when you're gonna get this book, or I've seen where people have like, yo, why am I seeing the book that I'm waiting for? Why am I seeing the product that I'm waiting for on eBay? That's happened. So do you have a right to, like, dude, there's been like honeycombs. So people are still waiting for honeycombs from Ethan. Just using that as an example. So there's people who are still waiting for head sketch honeycomb boxes. But at the same time, there's people who are selling them on eBay. Should you ask for a refund? Should you have the right to ask for a refund?
I mean, look, when it comes to a refund policy, it is determined, I mean, basically by the whole banking system, the funds. So 90 days to me is reasonable. Like past that, like I get it. Like, come on, it's too late. Like,
yeah, but some of the talking about refunds. Don't you think Indiegogo is a little different when you have like projects that are year-long projects that are normal to be a year? Like if you back something like, hey, day one backing, all right, in 90 days, like.
Talking about refunds, Liam, who's on screen right now, he's got 473 backers to Wonder Island. He stated in a video wearing that same damn suit that book would be released in 2021.
All right, Patrick, whatever, man.
No, not
Matt.
whatever. Why don't you deal
Yeah,
with the
no,
fact that
shut
he
up,
stated
Patrick.
the book was
I'm talking to
coming out in
Matt.
2021?
I'm talking to Matt
I'm
right
still-
now.
I'm still curious about the which is worse, not getting a reply
Yeah, that's what I'm
about
saying.
refunds or a CG couch.
Here's the thing. I know what you're saying. Based on the whole concept of the books being years in delay, it
Yeah.
would seem reasonable for you to get a refund, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, at the same time, and I'm being completely honest with you,
Yeah.
based on the whole the monetary system with the refunds and the banks, right?
Mhm.
90 days is fair because that's the system of the refunding and the funds are transferred and the money is spent.
Okay.
And I get it. I know you want your money back later on. And
What
maybe
if you're dealing with just straight up lies? Like, let's say,
and I was about to say that too, because let's say there should probably be
let's say Gymshark,
Yeah.
right? Where you're
Yeah.
like, hey, I gave you
Yeah.
money, and you're saying, hey, in the latest update, hey y'all, it's at the printers, and then you
There
wait
should be-
another year.
Yeah, there should
You
be
know
an
what I mean?
additional
And you're like,
system. I would say
it's like,
there should be an additional system.
There's some bullshit going on, especially like Liam is
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah,
he's wearing the suit 3-4
I would say
years ago.
after a
It's like,
certain number of years, there should be an additional system in place that if you don't get your product, then obviously there needs to be some kind of
and I'm also,
recompense.
there's
fraud,
no
man.
hypocrisy. If you were waiting for Rock and Roll Ninja, you're waiting for it, and suddenly you saw Zach in the background of a porn, and you wanted your money back because you find porn to be disgusting, and that's your personal opinion, you have a right to that money back, even if it's past 90
I
days.
agree with that. Past a certain point, yeah, and the policy of the vendor, I agree with that.
Normally you
Yeah.
don't. I mean, normally you don't. Like normally, like what? Remember Global Frequency? Those people, it was a guy and a girl. They had a little comic book called Mavericks. I think they kind of like bowed out of ComicsGate because they had a problem with the Eric July shit. But
Yeah. So what do you
they were
mean?
cool. I missed them. I lost my train of thought. Keep going.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree. Past a certain point, there has to be some kind of consequence. You're right. I mean, obviously, if 3 years pass or whatever, and there's no activity going on, and you're not going to get your product, you're entitled to get that money back. I agree with that. But I guess it all boils down to the confidence of whether or not you're going to get the product, right? If there are updates and like,
What
okay, I'm going to get.
It's been 4 years for
God
Liam's
Almighty,
Wonder Island.
I can't with this.
Again, am I allowed to fucking speak, asshole? Why are you the
No.
only one allowed to speak?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yeah. He
Fuck
is.
you, dude.
Yo, I'm eating chocolate covered espresso beans. You guys are fucked.
No, go ahead,
He's
Patrick.
allowed.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patrick. Talk. Yeah.
Liam literally has a video where he states that Wonder Island would be released in 2021 summer. Where are we now? The book's not been released. He keeps making up bullshit excuses. Where's the good faith? Like, what do you want his backers? 473 backers. What do you want them to do? Go fucking pound sand?
Well, like I was saying, there needs to be a show of good faith by showing that there's developments.
He's not said when it's coming out. That's not.
Well, I'm not talking about Liam though. I'm not. That's one
he's
example.
on camera. I mean, what are we doing here?
No. But you're right. He might be one example, but I'm saying in general, somebody needs to show any creator needs to show that they're working on it. That's my point. If they're showing that they're working on it, then that is the show of good faith that it's approaching the completion.
Dark
These are floppy
chocolate
comic books, dude.
espresso trail mix. I'm about to do a 12-hour fucking stream, y'all.
I got some peanut butter mountain trail mix, which is pretty nice.
You better save that shit for Katie, dude.
Shit, it's got too many peanuts in it. She wouldn't like it.
Ugh. You gotta keep it creamy because the dog. You don't want the
That's
dogs to
right.
start nibbling.
That's right.
Disgusting.
Oh, come on, Matt. Don't
What's
get
wrong, dude?
gross now. Don't get gross now, Matt.
Gotta get gross for a little bit. Have you heard the story of the tuna humidifier?
No,
What?
I don't know if I want to hear it either.
Okay. So I'm working. Let me stretch this out. I'm working at this restaurant in Union Square in Manhattan called Heartland Brewery, and it's like early. No, it's like late '90s, and I'm working there, and I got a buddy. He's working there with me, and he's in a relationship with the hostess, one of the hostesses, and he's into comic books. It's cool. He's got a PlayStation. Like, you know, after we do a shift, you know, go over to his house. So I'm like, hey man, like you're getting off your shift, so we'll head over to your house. He's like, yo man, give me a few minutes, right? And I'm like, okay, because I guess like because he's going home with his girlfriend, you know, with the hostess. So he's heading over there, you know, and it's like, oh yeah, give you some time to like hook up or whatever, right? So I was like, all right. So I was like marrying the ketchups and like doing side work and shit so he could have some time. And so I like called him and I like called him because we didn't have, you know, so I was on the payphone. I was like, yo, is it cool to come over? And he was like, yeah. Right? He was like weird like that. He was like, yeah, you come over. I was like, all right. So I like gave him some more time because that sounded weird. So I like, because every shift you got a free beer at Heartland Brewery because it was like a micro brewery in the middle of Manhattan. So you got like a beer. So I like drank my shift beer and like headed over there. And he didn't live that far. He lived like maybe 5 or 6 blocks uptown. And it was a weird thing. He like went through one person's part of the apartment to get to his part of the apartment. So I went into the one dude and he was like sitting on his couch and I was like, hey man, what's up? He's like, hey. And I walked in and when I opened up the door to fucking like Britt's apartment, like it was like hot and it was like odd smelling, like somebody had taken like a can of tuna and put it in a fucking humidifier.
Oh
So I
god,
was just like,
it's fucking gross, dude.
So I
God,
was like, what's up? And he was just like kind of like laid back and like his upper lip was all glistening with sweat and shit. You know, he was all he was all like fucking sparkle and like a pack of her hair was all frizzed up like a fucking shoo-wop doo-wop fucking background singer. Dude, it was like, so I came in, it was just like
shit.
Just came in and like, what's up? Like, fuck. And like I had just started smoking weed, so I knew he had a bong and I didn't have a bong at home, and so I just wanted to like smoke the bong, you know. And I was like, oh fuck, man. I was like, that was when I like, you know, learned that kind of like lesson, you know, to like give somebody more time. But it was like, it was thick. The air was thick, dude.
God damn.
It stank. It not stank. I don't be rude, you know. I don't be rude, but it was just like, it was all fucked up.
It was basically a tuna melt, with cheddar cheese on top.
Dude, it was just raw dogging.
Wow.
And then we went and put it. I think we watched a video after that or something. We're like, yeah.
Well,
Anyways.
look, that's life, man. We all been there.
Mm-hmm.
College days.
Unless you smelled the Katrina refrigerator, I don't want to hear about it, man. It's the nastiest shit ever.
Katrina, what?
Refrigerator?
Yeah, after Katrina, the power was out for 2 weeks, at least, and before people could go back to their homes because the city was flooded, and the refrigerators just had emulsified fucking vile shit in it, all of them.
Oh
and
yeah.
So everybody just yanked those things and threw them out to the street. You go down every block, man. There's like refrigerator after refrigerator after refrigerator sitting on the sidewalk.
Yeah, Katrina was a mess, dude. That
was
probably one of the
gnarly.
biggest. That was like a
crazy
third
to
world
just have,
country.
yeah, it was crazy just to have like dead bodies in wheelchairs and shit.
Oh, it was all kinds of
just put a fucking
Bro,
ticket over them. Like fuck.
Yeah, guys, have you seen the fucking missile videos shooting down in Israel? Speaking of current events,
No,
dude.
Wait. So they're shooting, and Israel is shooting the missiles out of the sky, or
no,
vice
I'm
versa?
talking. Iran has retaliated hardcore, and yesterday, there are videos of people with their cell phones from Tel Aviv, right? So I'm talking about Tel Aviv citizens recording with their cell phones, fucking full-on missiles striking the streets of Tel Aviv, blowing buildings up, decimating buildings, dude. To the point where like it's like surreal. It's like a fucking movie, dude. Like a guy on his balcony with his cell phone, seeing a missile blow up like a block away, like the entire block. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Do they have precision on those rockets? Or are they just lobbing shit?
They say that they do, but I don't believe it, because some of these buildings getting blown up are actual residential buildings, like an apartment building, like next to another. Because like these, if you just go on Twitter, dude, and look up these videos,
Israel's
like,
Patriot missiles aren't catching all the missiles coming from Iran right now.
What?
Israel has Patriot missiles for defense system, and they're not catching all the missiles that Iran's sending over, is what's going on.
Yeah, and that's why they're getting through. They started getting through yesterday, because prior to yesterday, the Iron Dome was blocking a lot of the bombs, right? But then they started getting through, and and now they're all getting through. It's fucking crazy. Like Tel Aviv is getting blown to bits now. It's nuts, and a lot of people aren't even aware of it.
It's not good.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like I saw those videos, and I'm like, dude, if that were me, like I would get in the car and just try to drive away and get the fuck out of there.
Well, I haven't planned to visit to Israel, so
what?
Probably want to avoid Israel right now.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say you don't want to be there right now. But like they're gonna flee. I'm telling you, like everybody's gonna flee Israel right now. Like it's nuts. Right now the war is a bad situation, and I think not enough people are admitting it. Like this is about to be like a big deal.
Yeah, because Israel's not going to put up with it for very long. And they have nukes.
They're going down and down and down. And I've personally talked with other people that know, and they get really sick of this. Every day I'm getting comments in my videos, in my email, in my direct messages. I can't deal with ComicsGate anymore. I can't deal with ComicsGate anymore. I used to watch Ethan Vitzkyver. I used to do this, and then one day I foolishly admit this was wrong of me. I said, Ethan put up a tweet. It's Friday night. Who is ready for a trash cast? I should have minded my own business. I should have taken my own advice. I tell my friends.
We're imperfect creatures. It's okay. You don't have to justify.
Yeah, I'm flawed. And I said, God, no, it's Friday night. The last thing I want to do is talk about something I don't enjoy.
Brunch. 90s brunch. In our 90s brunch, Get everything for every party on Amazon.
You have BO, right? We all do.
No.
Introducing Mando Whole Body Deodorant for kids,
Ew.
pregnant, and beyond.
Whole body deodorant is for fucking
I got
fat
a
people.
response immediately from him. It's important, John. And I said, no, it's not. It's not important. Next day, all my DMs are being read. I'm the bad guy and everything. You know, so whatever. Sound familiar? Sound familiar?
Well,
you said you criticized something and now you kicked out?
Yeah, for sure. But here's the thing: like, is ComicsGate Ethan Van Sciver, or is
He literally
ComicsGate?
owns the trademark.
Doesn't matter.
What?
I think the ComicsGate, ComicsGate like a marketplace.
What do you mean by
is,
that, Corbin?
Okay. You ever been to like a flea market? You ever been in somewhere like that? You know. Yeah, there might be one big store. There might be one big store doing a big thing. There might be the circus, but there's all the other little places like, you know, we're.
If it was a flea market, fucking Ethan now owns it because he owns the trademark. You can't have anything on your book that says ComicsGate without Ethan's approval. Am I wrong?
Ethan's just toxic, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
work with that
whatever.
But
I mean,
Matt-
whatever
Matt-
he is, but he does own ComicsGate at this point, right? I mean, it
Matt-
doesn't matter. Yeah.
what you're saying is true, right? But at the same time, are you gonna were you planning on putting ComicsGate on a product that you were gonna print anytime soon?
Back in the day, before Ethan decided to side with the Rileys and the Vitos and the Dick Mastersons, yeah.
Come on, you're gonna
Come
pull
on,
that
what?
now? Now,
It is true, dude. I was here before you,
bro.
I was doing stuff.
No,
before
actually,
you.
no, you weren't. No, you weren't, because
I wasn't doing stuff before you.
I lurked in the chat.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was
For
lurking too. I was lurking longer than you.
Look, no, I'm not trying to claim some kind of, you know, rightfulness.
Me neither.
I'm
I was
just
lurking, man. I was lurking hard.
no, I'm just saying I was you know, I was watching ComicsGate. That's all I'm saying. But
Ditto.
hello.
Hello. Yeah,
Where'd you
I'm
go?
listening. I'm right here.
All right.
Hold on. You need to see me?
You know, you left. You left all
I
of a
didn't
sudden.
leave. I'm getting a
Hey,
beverage.
all I'm saying is this whole thing with the Vito and Riley and Mint and shit, dude. You know that's a non-issue. You know that's a non-issue. With
It's a
them,
big enough issue. It's really not a non-issue.
come
Like
on.
pedophilia and rape are not.
Oh God!
You can't tell me. You can't tell
They
me
became
what's an issue and a
fans
non-issue.
in the last year. They became fans, right?
Yeah,
They're fans
congrats.
of ComicsGate now.
Where? Congrats. Really? Yeah. I'm glad. That's another
And
thing.
now you're gonna
Vito.
go, oh, ComicsGate is ruined because we're
Well, yeah,
welcoming
because
some
guess
fans.
what? Well, first off, we welcome Vito in, who has a track record of some seriously
Fuck
fucked up
Vito.
things.
Vito's
I mean,
a fucking
that's
idiot.
who I'm bringing up. That's who
Yeah, but
Ethan
at the
who
same time,
owns the place.
Anybody could be a fan. Anybody could be a fan.
I didn't say
though.
they're not. I didn't say they're not, but it's who's being highlighted. Anybody could be a fan, but who is being like mentioned and highlighted and spotlighted? That's affected. That could be
How's
affected.
he being highlighted though? He's not.
Vito was brought on to the King show and his campaign was pushed past 90K. Ethan was like, I'm gonna make sure that we get this passed. Like, are you, you're not a fucking goldfish, dude. I know you remember this. He brought Vito on and fucking was like, yo, let's
Kings,
get him
though.
to a king.
Yeah,
Not on Kings.
Yes, he
no,
did.
not,
He was like, we're gonna make you a king.
He brought him on. Yeah, Ethan brought him on his own stream, but
his own
not
stream,
on
which
Kings.
was called what?
But no, but not
it
on
was the
Kings,
King
though.
show, bro. Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't on the King show.
It wasn't on
own...
a ComicsGate Live. Oh, so it was a trash cast? You're saying it was
no,
a trash cast?
Yeah. He brought him. No, Ethan brought him on his stream, but I'm just saying that it wasn't a King stream. It wasn't with everybody else. Vito was not brought on as a king.
But he wanted to make him royalty. If I don't, I
oh,
believe that he talked him on
on.
there. He said the word royalty. He was like, "We're going to make you
Matt.
royalty." There's no come on what.
No,
On
but
what, dude?
you're exaggerating now. Come
I'm
on.
not. I'm
He
not.
didn't-
He said that he was
You're
going to
honestly
make him
saying that
royalty.
he wants to make Vito a king.
KSS has to be
Hold on a
And
second.
now,
Hold
and now
on. You're
where is
saying
that book? Where's
You're
Super
saying
Killer?
that Ethan wants
Let me
him to
finish.
make
Where's Super Killer?
Vito a king.
Yes, he said that.
Think about that for a second. Ethan wants to make Vito a fucking king.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
come on.
did.
No, he promoted him
Yes,
on Trash
he did.
Cast.
No,
on
it was like, we're going to
Trashcast.
make you royalty. We're going to make you CG royalty by getting you to 100K.
He brought him on Trash Cast. He did not say, I'm going to make you a king like Aaron Lepresti and the rest of them. There's
Yes,
no
he
way he
did.
went, oh, Vito, you're going to be a king. There's no way.
Yes, he did.
Vito, a
Dude, he
fucking
made
nobody.
Why would I make that
What are you
up,
talking
dude?
about?
Vito's a nobody, dude. He's not going to say, oh,
He's
Vito,
not
I'm
a
gonna
nobody
make
to
you a
Ethan.
king.
He's not a nobody to Ethan. He's not a
He
nobody
brought
to
him on
Dick Masterson.
Okay. I'm not completely disagreeing with you, Matt. I know what you're saying. You got some truth there, but it's a little mixed
And now
up because
it's not so. And you didn't even let me finish. So it's like whether or not Vito is a king or not, he was brought on, was
you
promoted.
brought him on Trash
He was
Cast.
pushed, and now the book is non-fucking deliverable. Now nobody's getting the book. Nobody knows
Well,
what the
yeah,
book is.
look, I don't like Vito either. Vito's a fucking idiot.
Do you like Jimmy Ray's?
Well, what do you got against Jimmy Reyes?
I don't know. Nothing, actually. I don't have anything against him. I didn't back his book, so I don't have any problems with him.
Well, we all know this. We all know the story with him. You know, it fell apart. But yeah, whatever, man. Like, I think you're equivocating a little too much. You're jumping to conclusions from when somebody brings somebody else on. It's like, oh, they're the equivalent of like the full-on level. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
No, I don't. I don't know what you mean. And I'm not being combative. I don't know what you mean. Like, don't make me put words in your mouth. Like, what do you mean? Like,
all right, I'll clear it up.
If Riley is doing some shit, or if Riley is doing a video and Katie is in the chat and she's going, yeah, this is so funny. Yeah, keep going with the rape jokes. This is hilarious. Like,
well, let me start with this.
Shouldn't be like, yo, what the fuck is your problem?
Let me start with this. To bring Vito on Ethan's stream, I think he brought him on Trashcast. That does not equate to him making him a king. There's no way he didn't. He never made
royalty. He
said,
never I'm going to make you.
But
royalty.
he never made him a king, though. You know that. He never said, "Oh." I know that. He never said. He never said,
know
"Oh,
the
you're
first part, though." How
do
you know the second part? So how do you not know about the
week.
royalty part? How do you know
he never said
that he
you're
didn't
a CG king? He
never
said,
I'm going to make you
Carbon
royalty. I'm going to make you
Carbon
royalty.
How high are you right now?
Phil.
That's irrelevant. I don't want anybody's intake of THC to be held against them.
I called him Phil. Patrick. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I'm high. I'm not high.
No, I was just asking. I mean, are you high or not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I disagree with you
high.
doesn't mean I'm. Yeah, I'm telling you, I watch Kings every week. He never made Vito a king. Okay, let's get real now, guys. He never said, "Oh, Vito's a CG king." He may have invited
him to make him royalty.
Yeah, well, okay, fine.
Hey,
He
Matt,
brought him.
thanks for having me on. I'm out of here.
Oh, okay, come on. Being a gay
Later,
motherfucker
skater.
now. He never made him a king, Matt.
No, but he played with talking about making him royalty, and I don't think there would have been a problem with Vito getting onto the ComicsGate King show if he asked. Once the bar was dropped, it was just something that was thrown out, and it had no meaning at all. Like the bar used to be, which I thought was always fun, was, you had to be mainstream. You had to have like done mainstream work. Which allowed them to have a little bit more of like an insider industry type of like chit chat. But then, It became
Well,
a weird
well,
favorable thing of like, okay, Vaughn is talking too much shit about Liam. Let me go ahead and give him a fucking
well, to
crown.
you,
Let me fucking give
when
her
was the
a
bar
crown.
dropped?
It's like, where the fuck? When did the bar drop?
Yeah,
I would say when Mandy Summers was given a crown. I would say the first person who was given a crown who didn't work for the mainstream was the fucking drop of the fucking bar.
Mandy.
Yeah.
I guess
And it's
she was
not
the
even
first
like
one.
a fucking fuck you to Mandy, but it's just like, no, that's not what it was supposed to be. Now, Ethan is the one who created the show, and if he wants to, water that shit down and step on it and turn it into fucking, bunk, but, the original concept was pretty cool. And as soon as they broke with it out of, whatever,
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know
I
what
mean,
you would call
I
it. But then it was all like the double weirdo was like, oh fuck, you picked Mandy? Like where the fuck is Gymshock?
I mean, honestly, Mandy. I mean, she accomplished some stuff though, man. You gotta give her credit though, right? I mean, she made her own little company. She had multiple books that were selling.
Yeah, she had Wart the
Like-
Wizard, and she had Jack the Ripper, the Vampire
Yeah.
Slayer. How many
Yeah,
books
there
did
you
that?
go.
Do you remember these characters, or am I telling you what these characters are?
Dude, I know the whole story. I know everything that she sold. I'm saying that
Like that's another funny thing recently is like, like everybody in ComicsGate knows who Eric July's characters are, but like a lot of people can't name any ComicsGate characters. Like, can you name some of the people from Graveyard Shift?
bro, I can name everybody.
Give me
I
two.
can name your entire family.
I'm not talking about my family, you fucking creep. That's what I'm saying. And that's another thing. It's like, at what point did the families get involved? See, now that you're talking about my families, you have my fucking...
Oh, no. You're going to go there now. You're going to get pissed off now. It was a joke. It was a joke, Matt. Take it easy, okay? Don't come after me now.
No, I'm not. I'm going to set up a fucking...
No, but I'm saying
I'm going to set up a sniper.
I know all the CG characters. I know, all the characters. Even Mandy's comics. Like, all I'm
What's
saying
going
is
on,
that
Chris?
Hey, what's up, Matt? Thanks for having me on, man.
she earned it.
Carbon. What's up, Carbon? You're the big
I
bad
think
right
other
now.
people earned it more than she did. If you're going to start talking about like who is producing work, who is like doing shit, there was other people who deserve to be called ComicsGate kings who didn't put out
with you
asshole fingering. Phil Diaz, Mark Poulter.
Well, Diaz became a king, but he never showed up.
No, you're talking about Bancroft.
Yeah, Bancroft. Yeah, that was Bancroft.
Bancroft.
Yeah, that was Bancroft.
But Diaz used to come on Kings though.
No. Ethan used to promote Phil, and then Phil he's in the chat, by the way, or at least I saw him. But Phil was never technically quote unquote a king.
But he used to be on streams and then he disappeared though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, Phil helped the Diaz brothers helped Cecil fulfill that book. I mean, the joke cash grab would never get delivered, would still be a joke without him, with them. So give shout out to Phil, Diaz brothers. Woo.
So go ahead and name one, man. I want you to name two characters from Graveyard Shift. Give me two characters from Omega Storm.
There was that one chick.
Come on, what, dude?
Matt,
this is
I'm never. I don't do this kind of bullshit.
We could be. It's bullshit. Be like,
I'm not a monkey. I'm not somebody.
Yara,
you know this already.
Horseman.
Anytime anybody questions
we all know
me,
the names.
I do not answer. I'm not gonna jump through hoops for anybody. I'm telling you, legitimately, I know these comics. Okay, I know these books. I don't need to fucking start jumping through hoops.
Name in Graveyard Shift.
Oh my god,
what was that girl's name? I forgot her name. Like, that's what I mean.
What was the girl in Graveyard Shift? Give me what was the chick with the red
How about
hair
I question
in
you?
Graveyard Shift?
How about I question you, Matt?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can't say. Yeah.
Did you read Godlike? Did you?
Yes,
did you
I
get
did.
Godlike? Oh,
Yes, I
really?
did. Yes.
Well, why don't you name two characters from
I
Godlike?
don't even think
then?
they were named
Oh,
Romulus.
well, there you
was
go.
one. Hold on. Dude, I could literally sketch it out and draw out Godlike. I don't even think he named the people.
What's the main character's name of Godlike?
Romulus?
Nope.
His name was Romulus? What
No.
was it? Godlike?
No, that's another
Nah,
book. That's a whole other book.
The main
main
hero of
character-
Godlike. What's his name?
Tell me.
You don't know.
Do you?
You didn't read the book then.
No, dude, I read the book several times. I read the book several times.
Bro, it's a fucking splash page.
Okay, here's my question. All right,
It's a splash page with
the
his
splash
name on
page.
it.
So were the images of Christ, 9/11, and the American flag, were they all on one page or on several?
Yes, they were on one. Are you kidding me? You're gonna question me on this shit?
I
I
am.
started.
You're
this.
questioning me. It's my
I'm
channel.
asking you, dude. You don't know the name of the main
Phil's
hero.
in the chat.
I
He
don't.
says-
I honestly don't remember. It's been several years
Okay,
since I
so
read.
you failed.
I read Godlike.
You
I
lost.
didn't fail. No, I didn't. I described the whole storyline earlier, dude. Are you kidding me?
I know you read it. I know you read it because I
Like,
watched your review.
So, all right. So yeah. How did the story end? The story ended with him saying,
I-
"Now I have the power. I have the
Yeah, the
power of
villain.
Grayskull." And then the fucking oh, that's right. There's
Bro.
a villain who's like, "Oh, I'm all encrusted." I forgot about that. There's like he's like, "I have the power of Grayskull," and then some other guy pops up and he's like, "I'm
The
a
villain
mummy and
at
I
the end.
used to have the sword."
Nah,
I
but
used to have
it
the
was
sword, but now I
badass.
don't.
It was a good book, dude. It was a good book.
Nah, dude, not unless you like guys looking at each other's dicks for fucking 20-something pages. Just staring at each other. Just if they're
not
when
unless
they're
you like
looking
balls,
at each other's dicks,
balls hanging
their
down.
mouths are closed. As soon as they turn away from their dicks, they turn into like a
Come on, it was a good book.
dude. There's like maybe one hand that's open. This motherfucker was like, "You draw gay hands." It's like, dude, you can't draw hands at all. What are you fucking talking about? Like, where's your feet? Where's your hands, dude? Give me a break.
The janky hands. You still
No, dude,
got-
they're fine. They're
Yeah, her-
amazing. He draws the best clenched fists in the fucking comic industry. Like, if you were like, "Yo, dude, I need a fucking comic book about Fisto," dude, you get Malin because it's just nothing but fucking fists.
Sorry,
That's the motherfucker. For fucking He-Man, you dirty bird. So, not what his wife has been up to at the truck stop. Anywho, so you would hire Malik because he draws amazing fists, but everything else is dog shit. Did you like it? What did you think about those blank black pages?
Well, I mean, look, overall, I liked.
Did they really give you this feeling of just like, black cock when you saw those 5 pages of black?
Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, the whole time when I read it, I was just thinking about gay porn. The whole time I was just thinking about, black cock. Yeah, no, it's a great book, man. Nah,
it's not that I.
that the art was good. You know the art was good in that book.
The art was too. It was too relying on one person saying how cool he thought it was. I think if he had maybe like an editor look at the thumbnails and be like, "Hey, you're repeating shapes." Maybe I think it could have been better. I always think these artists are always better with an editor, and I'm not gonna lie, it's me myself
I agree with
as
that.
well.
I mean,
Look
I
at
agree with that.
like Rob Liefeld, he was fucking banging on Hawk and Dove, dude. That was fucking dope as fuck. And
I love Hawk and Dove,
dude. Hawk and Dove is the shit, and like because you can still see it's Liefeld, you know what I mean? But like you could tell that somebody was like, the editor was like, "Hey, could you redraw that hand?" Hey, that
but at the same time,
right.
I mean, Matt, to be honest,
and with life,
the strongest part of Godlike was the art. The weakest part of Godlike was the writing, and I'll be honest about that. The art was solid.
I think that's fair.
But the writing was weaker, and I'll agree to that.
Dog shit. Well,
but the art was pretty badass though.
The art
They're
is
like
subjective,
making
but the
out,
writing
kind
was
of
subjectively bad.
holding.
Yeah.
They're kind of cozying up. I don't know. I don't know. It would have been cool, man. Those beginning panels where he's like talking about thousands of years being spanned. Like it would have been cool to like maybe a snapshot of like some galactic wars. You know, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of moments that were lost opportunities.
I think
I didn't like it.
well, having an editor is good because, like, at the end of the day, two heads are better than one, and you can always override the editor. It's not like the editor has the executive power or decision. So,
no, but an editor, you know, even at the like, I have story outlines right now that I have people picking and ripping apart. That way, where it's like, hey, like, you know, if he had showed somebody a story outline and said, here's the outline, and somebody could have been like, hey man, like at the end of this episode you have him flashing a sword and showing that he has the power, but then there's nothing after that. Like that would be, you know, maybe get rid of some of that combat in the beginning and move that to the back so that, you know, you see him fighting with a sword. Like I don't know, like he has the sword, he's winning, and then suddenly one of those giant like vampire races shows up, and it's like,
but it's mostly the beginning. It's mostly the beginning that had problems, because once you get past that beginning and it starts flowing a little more, it got. And I love the ending. The ending of that book was good, man. I don't give a shit what you say. That the ending was fucking cool.
It would have been cooler if he used the sword.
Well, it was an introduction. It's an introduction, dude.
I mean, I kind of have a general view about it.
Imagine watching Star Wars: A New Hope and being like, "This is your father's lightsaber." The end. You know, just like
yeah. Well, no, actually, you know what? It's like A New Hope. A New Hope didn't really have that much climax to it, right? New Hope.
They showed him fucking you. No, I'm saying it's like A New Hope, where like he goes to Obi-Wan's place and Obi-Wan gives him his lightsaber and he waves it around for a second. That would be the end. That would be the fucking Godlike right there. That's how Godlike ends, right there at that.
Well, you know, the irony is that
when are we waiting? Another 3 years for another fucking
I mean, but Luke didn't really
shit.
Luke didn't really achieve much in the first. The irony is that what you're saying is the same thing. Do you think
Godlike was worth it?
No,
do you think that kind of money is worth
it?
The
irony is that it's the same thing with A New Hope and whatever, man, whatever.
None of these books are fulfilling any kind of like itches. They're all just kind of like half-assed like steps that nothing really happens. Like even BTM was like, "Yo, there's no heroes. It's just fucking fluff." It's just
what?
Well, I mean, if I could get a word in real quick.
Yeah, sorry,
bullshit, bro.
I just like I look at comics like I look at movies, right? I mean, there's the plot, and this is kind of what you guys are discussing right now, and then there's the dialogue, right? So like sometimes the plot could be kind of but the dialogue's really good and it keeps you entertained and you just want to keep reading or watching or listening just because the dialogue is so freaking good, you know. And you either have to have both of those things or at least one of them working for you when you do a comic book, because if it's not entertaining to read, like forget the plot, you know, the plot is its own thing, but it's really about like engaging the reader, right? Either they're viewing the images or reading the words or getting into the story. And that's really the trick for a good comic creator, especially if you're in these indie comic spaces where you're wearing many hats, right? You're trying to do so many different things where like a mainstream, you know, they have a team of people working on this stuff. So that seems to me to be the trick, you know, just make it readable, make it fun. Maybe are there plot holes? Probably, maybe. I don't know if you do a good plot, maybe not. It's just you have to make it engaging and entertaining for people. The art is like kind of its own other thing, you know, and it's always going to be subjective. Some people like more busy art. Some people don't like busy art. It depends. As long as the art suits the story and the plot and everything kind of, it's like cooking fucking food, right? As long as you get all the ingredients and you mix them together and it all works, you know, I don't know. Those are my 2 cents. I'll leave it there. You guys can kind of go back on, but.
Well, Chris, I mean, I agree with you 100% with what you're saying. And it's almost like there's a curse for fans. Once somebody becomes a fan of something and they become almost like an expert, it almost ruins the art form, because then they look at everything through this lens of being like a critic, right? You know what I'm talking about. And you're no longer just enjoying the thing. And you're going, oh, well,
and dissecting.
yeah, exactly. You're analyzing. You go, oh, this could have been this way. The writing and the art, and it kills the whole thing.
The real question is like, did you enjoy it? And then you can go back and look at it and like, did you like, you know, if you enjoyed it, what did you enjoy about it? What didn't you enjoy about it? What could you do better? I get that. I mean, everybody does that. I do that with movies, music, comic. Like,
I mean, I almost wish I could rewind and go back to the point where I know nothing about music, because I play music like you do, Chris. And,
that's my fault.
And same thing with art. And like, if I knew nothing about it and go back to just like watching it and being like, oh, I like this, and that's it. So that way you wouldn't be a fucking nitpicker and being like, oh, I would have done this differently. That kills the whole thing.
Well, you got to figure too, social media plays a part in this, because like it's become very, very easy to go online and hate a lot of things just because that's the intent. Like usually you won't go online to like review something and give it a glowing review. I mean, people do, don't get me wrong, but usually you're more inclined to go on and review something that you hate, you know? And I think, you know, I mean, look at the fandom menace culture. It's like, how many times do you see them like praising movies and I'm not saying like they're worth praising either, but like, it just seems like, you know, that's like, you know, that's what was different with, I viewed ComicsGate in the beginning, because it was more about propping people up and supporting people, you know, like rebelling against the mainstream, people supporting each other, individualism, and like, you know, these past few years, man, I mean, you watch those streams and it's just like, this guy's a piece of shit, fuck that guy, this guy's art sucks, you know, this person's a dungeoneer. Like, what the fuck? Like, where are we, guys? Like, what is going on? Like,
have they moved past the dungeoneer part? I think they've kind of moved past
well, it always comes back up though, and that's what's so creepy about the whole thing. It creeps back up like every now and again. You know, I'll hear stuff about Kelsey. I mean, it's like Kelsey ditched, like, how many years ago did he leave? He got fed up. It's like, I'm done with this shit. Like, you know, Kelsey's not a negative person either.
I'm nitpicking
like, you know.
people's fucking shelves. Look at this fucking shelf. It's drooping. That's a
I mean, for the most part, the Dungeoneer thing is over for the most part. Nobody's really talking about it. The only thing is that Kelsey, he disappeared and people are reaching out to him and he's not responding. So people are worried about
well, he sees the negativity and the hate, man. He was just like, this is not what he signed up for, you know?
And he's a little bit of a recluse though, right? Like he never responds to people.
Yeah, but Kelsey left for a little while.
We started to get annoying, right? Didn't he? Zach got pissed off. He was like, "You're not fucking replying." He even like called him out at one point.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey was busy with a lot of
great artist. He's a fucking fantastic artist. Like, I love talking to him. I love streaming with him and talking about old comics and shit from the 70s. You know, we knew what we were both like referencing when we talked about shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. He's not reliable. Not recently.
I bought his.
I don't know where he is, but I hope he's somewhere drawing. You know.
No, I think he's working on. And that's the thing. Kelsey's working on other projects. I did back. He did one campaign where he I don't know if anybody in the chat or anybody remembers. He did a sketch campaign, like a sketchbook campaign. I did back.
Yeah,
that. I never did receive that. I never got that. I don't know what happened with that. I forget. It was like years ago.
Sketchbook, right?
Yeah. He did. Yeah. Because everybody was begging him to do his own campaign, but he always worked for other people, and that's what I think he's probably still doing today. You know,
well, he's doing Nexus, right?
Yeah,
he's doing Nexus.
Yeah.
But he is a little bit of a recluse though in general. Like he seems to be his personality type. He disappears for a few months without responding. And it makes people worried, and they're like, "Did he die?" You know. And they're like, what happened to him, you know?
I think
it's legit when you have people like putting thousands of dollars on the line, like, yo, where are you? You know?
Yeah.
Not even like a hey, I want a daily update. But if somebody's like, hey, how's it going? And they don't hear back from you for a couple of weeks, you know, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. especially now in the digital age. Like, all you gotta do is send a fucking email.
Kelsey's one of those guys though, where like he's probably introverted, and he kind of somehow caught himself extroverted on social media, and he just wasn't really comfortable dealing with it. People liked him because he's just like, in general, he's not, he's a likable guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think he just I think the Dungeoneer shit was really when he bailed, because it was just like, I remember like them reading that Dungeoneer file or whatever the fuck it was, and it was like he was in there. I think he was like, he didn't say anything bad either, I don't think, but he was in that file, and I think he was like,
Chris,
peace, I'm out.
I know the exact moment that Kelsey was done, because I saw it happen. I saw it happen live, and you're right. It was the Dungeoneer shit, but specifically in the middle of the whole Dungeoneer like ball busting that John Malin was doing. John Malin did a stream on Rumble, right? And he brought Kelsey on, and they were bullshitting. And then John questioned him about the Tampa trip, and he asked him, who'd you stay with and shit like that, And then Kelsey was like,
Kelsey got offended. Yeah, he offended Kelsey.
And Kelsey said, PTP actually paid for my trip. Right? And once he said that, he said, PTP paid for it. John Malin said, and look, I love John. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. But he said, so you were a freeloader on that trip. Right?
He was probably trying to bust balls, but...
Yeah, he was busting balls. Yeah. Obviously, he was, but it crossed the line, though.
Yeah.
He didn't realize. Yeah. He just crossed the line at that point. And I heard it in that moment. And then Kelsey went, "Go fuck yourself."
Oh, really? I didn't see that Rumble stream.
Dude, there was like the first couple of times I hung out with Malin, he was just like a fucking dick. And I was like, is this kayfabe?
Well, he did the same thing with Rainey. He did the same thing with Irene. He was
pulling. And I was talking to, and but I was reaching out, was already talking to Kelsey, and I was like, "Yo, man, what the fuck is up with Malin? Like, is he kayfabe or is he really a fucking dick?" He's like, "No, he's really a fucking asshole." I'm like,
"No, he is a dick. He's dick.
Just a fucking dick in general." And so that's why I'm just like, dude, you're not that good of a fucking artist to be a fucking dick like that. You know what I mean? It's like you play canceled. Your wife has left you. You have a fucking tree growing out of your driveway. Like, you're not.
His wife left him. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about his wife.
That's a whole other ball of wax.
His wife left him.
Yeah, it's filed for divorce.
You're not.
What?
Pete Cullen.
I'm gonna. I'll shut up.
You didn't know about this? Pete Cullen posted about
Pendant Pete.
Yeah, Pendant Pete blew it open by tweeting a super chatting about the paperwork being public. So the divorce papers are public if you want to go look for them.
When was
Somebody
this?
else blew that. No, those have been around for years.
This was like,
apparently,
but it just popped up recently though. Yeah. So everybody was like, "Why is this guy talking about a wife?" When he's really at home alone.
When did the divorce happen?
It was years ago. It was like it was a while ago. Like Ethan heard of it. It was on the farms. Somebody posted it originally on the farms, and it was out there. And Ethan, he goes on the farms too, right? And he saw it, but evidently he didn't say anything to Malin until this whole thing blew up like a couple of years later. And then in a super chat on John, Pete fucking brought it up, and John basically confirmed it.
Because nobody's on Kiwi Farms. Nobody's going.
I don't go on Kiwi Farms either.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
I don't really go
who gives a
scouring
shit? Like,
Kiwi Farms.
That's personal relationships. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing though, because those guys talk about people's wives and like all that. Like to them, you can't talk anything about them, but then they bring up everybody else's personal baggage, and it's like, dude, you can't have it both ways either, right? I'm not for attacking people's family either, by the way. So like, if you got a problem with somebody, you kind of, I try to stick to.
No, but once you move the goalpost, like if we're sitting here talking shit and Ethan or Liam starts bringing up my wife, then suddenly the goalposts get moved. You know what I mean? It's like they're deciding to like make that shit part of it.
Well,
like,
Matt,
you want to make wife jokes content, then let's go. And then suddenly, like, "Oh, Matt Barr, you need to chill out and like come back into the ComicsGate fold."
I think that bridge is burned. What was
Well,
that video? Rapper
I'm the one who
plays
told
the
you
bridge
that
is
today.
burning.
I know. That's why I just fucking mentioned it, motherfucker.
I said that. I said, yeah, come back, Matt.
There's nothing to come back to, man. It's all burnt out, dude. Even
Yeah,
Ethan
I
is
mean,
like,
maybe.
yo, it's only us. Like, it just doesn't seem
Well,
good.
well, I mean, here's the thing. What I mean by that is that you're obviously a good artist. I'm not gonna pretend you're not a good artist. And there's plenty of auxiliary people surrounding CG making books. And you know this, right? There's a ton of guys making their own projects. They're looking for artists to bring onto the fold, myself included. And it's good to be a friend in the community instead of being.
I used to be. I still am.
Yeah, well, I mean, stop being
there's no
kind of
part just me
crazed
having a
maniac,
problem with me having a
hating
problem with
everybody.
Ethan. I don't hate everybody. Again, that's a myth. I don't hate everybody. I have a problem with Ethan. I have a problem with Liam. It's very personal. It has nothing to do with the rest of ComicsGate. Unfortunately, me being separate from ComicsGate, it's crumbling. Even if I was doing the best I can, ComicsGate is still eating shit.
All right, so the problem with Ethan, right? The problem is if you have a problem with Ethan, he pretty much, not just you, I'm not talking about you specifically, Matt, but like if you have a problem with Ethan, he denounces you. And if you have a problem with Ethan, you can no longer be a part of CG. Like that's the problem I have.
Dude, he hammers it into his fans. And it's not like, oh, I have a problem with Matt. It's just me and Matt. Don't fucking go at him. It's not that. It's guys, Matt head wound. Matt has a head wound.
Right. You're the head wound and I'm the spur.
Yeah. And he's like, and then he just like spreads it to other people. And I'll be in other fucking chats and people will be like spamming what Ethan says. So
I've been on Twitter with Ethan. He unblocked me on X or whatever, Twitter. And and I told him that. I said, dude, you remember the old days when you would just show up, we'd have fun, you joke around and promote your books and like times were good. It's like watch those streams now. And it's like it's almost like he has to hate on somebody like every day. It just the negativity, I think, is what kills.
Eric,
I think a lot of people.
Eric, but what John is saying, like he used to come on and people used to enjoy him like talking shit about DC and Star Wars and shit,
Right.
But now it's just been over a year of Eric July, and anybody who has a
Dan
problem,
Fraga or
anybody
comments about like every
but guys, I mean,
the new guy Severin. Right,
I know where you're coming
he fucking posts some artwork. I didn't even realize who it was. Right, I saw somebody else post the artwork. It was like, here's the new artwork from Ethan's Heather Swain book. Right, like I don't even think it said the guy's name, Seven's name, Seven, whatever. Right?
That's 7 and 9.
Right. So I see that and I'm like, yo, man, it looks like fucking 3D asset houses in the background.
You mean Sven Stoffel?
Oh, Sven. Oh,
yes.
Sven
Strudel, right? This fucking weirdo, right? He's like
Strudel.
Fucking crack. Yeah. Sven Strudel jerking off at Krakow and eating whatever comes out, little fucking weirdo. So like I didn't even know it was him, but he's like he's drawing shit and he's doing 3D assets. And I'm like, yo, that looks like 3D assets. And what does he do? And what do the other people do? They start dropping like, well, how about this 3D asset? And it's like Auschwitz. How about this 3D asset? And it's skulls from a fucking Jewish oven.
I mean,
like,
damn,
dude, you could.
It's brutal,
is it funny
but...
or is that how you you think people should reply to criticism?
Matt,
so after a year,
in all fairness, Matt,
after a year of talking shit,
hold on, Matt,
after a year of talking shit to Eric about him taking criticism, that's how fucking ComicsGate replies.
Hold on, Matt. In all fairness, if it were the reverse scenario, you would have went even harder, bro. You go fucking hard. When someone comes at you You
About my
fucking
art?
you don't hold. Yeah, no, you don't hold back, bro.
Dude,
You
if
would have
somebody
went.
was like, "Yo," if
You
all
would
right,
have been like,
here's a
bro.
scenario flip. If
Here's
the
a
tables
Native
were flipped,
American's arrowhead up your fucking anus.
I'm like Matt in a
scalped
lot of ways.
No,
with a
bro.
I
scalp
laugh, but
on
I'm like
top of
Matt
it.
too.
No.
though.
Yeah, no,
I
but
go
Matt,
ahead.
you go
Whatever.
hard.
No.
though.
If somebody was like, "Yo, those are 3D assets," I would be able to say, "Actually, here's my PSD file. Here's my SketchUp file. Here's my layer of sketches. Here's my layer of pencils, and then here's my inks." So, like, I'm sorry if you think it's 3D, but here's the work. I would show the
So you're a
work.
nice
You know
guy.
what I mean?
You're a nice guy all of a sudden, Matt.
I'm
you
not
know
a nice
you're
guy.
fucking-
You know what I mean? But
you
like,
go
I
hard,
really
Matt. Come on.
When do I
You know what I'm
go
talking
hard
about.
about? Who am I going hard about? And about
Bro,
what?
I've seen you on Twitter.
I'm not saying I don't, but I'm saying what is triggering that reaction.
Yeah,
but
no,
Matt,
you're complaining
you
about
do
the
try to at
fucking-
least like address the issue, though. It's not like you just
Yeah,
like
I got
engaging.
you. It went hard, but you would have went even harder. And you know what
I
I'm
don't
talking
think I
about.
would have. If somebody
Yeah,
was
you
like,
would have. You
"Yo,
would have said, "Oh,
nobody
it's a
talks
blood,
about my art." See, here's
it's a
the
blood
kicker.
vendetta." I would have
Here's the
skinned you
kicker.
alive.
Here's the kicker. Nobody's pulling up my artwork and talking shit because they can't.
Except Ethan,
Nobody's
who's a little-
pulling up my fucking artwork
except
and going,
Ethan, who has
"Look
no
at
credibility.
this."
at this
Ethan's
point.
not even pulling up my art.
Yeah.
Ethan, you see
Well, he
him
doesn't-
pulling
he-
out a rock and roll ninja and fucking going through it? No.
No.
Nobody
Matt,
is. Because
okay.
you know my shit is chef kiss, Rich.
Okay, Matt.
You know that.
I'm leveling
Do
with
you
you.
not?
I'm trying to be.
But do you agree? You
Matt,
know
I'm
that
trying
my
to-
artwork is fucking
Yes.
tier 1, right?
Yes.
So they can't pull it out and talk shit about it. They have to make
Can
up
I-
other shit.
Can I respond to
agree?
what you're saying, though?
Sure.
And I'm trying to level with you here, okay? And I'm agreeing with you. But you know, as well as all of us know, you go hard in the paint too on Twitter. And you hold on.
I do.
Hold on.
If you come at me.
You've gotten deep into the dirt, bro.
If you
Talking
come at me-
about people's illnesses, talking about people
Whose
being
illnesses?
sick.
Whose illnesses? See, you're very
Come on.
vague. No, you come on.
You
You're
want me to
vague
get
as fuck.
specific now?
Fuck you, yes.
No,
Yes.
fuck me. You want me to get specific now, Matt?
Fucking get specific, you dog.
Talking about
dick.
fucking Ethan's wife.
Get specific.
Talking about Ethan's wife having
Yes.
fucking
yes. I will talk. I will
having
talk
balls
about.
deep
I will
and
talk
shit.
about. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I
yeah,
will-
no. Talking about somebody's
Yeah.
wife
having
having an illness.
Yeah.
Come
whose
on,
wife?
bro.
Whose wife? Whose
Ethan's
am I
wife.
talking about?
Yeah, but Ethan
I-
does enough attacking.
Hold
other
on. I
people.
muted him because I want to talk about it. The reason why I talked about Ethan's wife is because Ethan had been talking about my wife for months.
Exactly. Yeah.
4
Yeah, but did you
months.
talk about her dying though?
Did I say anything about her dying?
Yeah, you did, motherfucker.
Show the
You said,
receipts.
"Oh, you better get ready to be alone after she passes away from her
I didn't
illness."
say get ready to be alone.
Yes, you did.
I said, look at this guy. He's lining up Keanu to fuck her when his wife dies. That's not.
Yeah.
fucking-
Oh, exactly, bro.
Hey, you know what?
That's
Maybe don't
fucking.
talk about
That's
my
what-
wife.
That's grotesque,
Don't-
man.
listen.
Come on, man.
Don't
Come
talk
on.
about my wife. Don't
Right.
talk about my
Yeah,
wife.
but you don't talk about
And-
somebody
no,
dying like that.
I don't give a fuck, dude. It's wide
Oh, you
open.
don't?
I don't. If you talk
You
about
gotta
my
fight.
wife,
Sometimes you gotta. Yeah, you gotta fight fire
If
with
you-
fire.
Yeah,
if
but what? Yeah, but what did he say about your wife, though?
he talked about her. He talked about her needing to call me all the time. He talked about having a head wound. All the head
Okay.
wound shit.
Yeah, but you talked
All
about
that how
you.
that started.
Look, I
No,
don't-
and he
look,
incorporated her into that lie.
Ethan is not my brother. I don't need
I
to
don't care.
defend him.
That's not the
Ethan-
question. Nobody's asking about your fucking
I'm calling you out
relativity
now,
to him.
bro.
What?
I'm calling you out.
Call me out on what? On talking shit about a guy who was
Yes.
talking shit about my wife?
He,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't say your wife. Talk about your wife dying, bro. You
I
talked
don't
about
care.
his wife.
No,
fucking
I
dying.
don't care. No,
That-
I don't care.
it's
I
not
didn't
the
say anything
same,
about his
bro.
wife dying. I said
Yeah,
he
you
needed to
did.
fuck her before she turned into a vegetable.
Yeah, or a vegetable, bro. That's fucked up, man.
Well, you
Come
know
on.
what? Okay, no. You know what's fucked up is bringing up my wife. If you don't want to be uppercut to your fucking nuts, don't go swinging at mine.
Yeah, but it's not equal,
No,
bro.
no,
Like
no,
someone,
no, 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 no,
it's
no,
not
no,
equal,
no,
man.
no. It is equal. If you go
It's
trying
not.
to grab my,
Him
if we're
saying
fighting,
that
let me
she
tell you
needs to
something.
check on you.
If
It's
we're
not the
rolling
same
around
as
and
saying
fighting, and you
she's
try
the
to grab my
vegetable.
balls, I'm gonna
Nah, it's
fucking
not
knee
the
your
same,
nuts
man.
into your neck. Yes, they are. Yes, it is.
And
Yes, it
anybody
is.
can see it's
There
not the
was no
same, man.
reason. There was
Look,
no
man,
reason for Ethan to bring up my wife.
Matt, I'll forgive you. Look, I'm a Christian.
I don't need your forgiveness. I don't need your
Yeah,
forgiveness.
you need Jesus. You need Jesus' forgiveness.
Bitch, you need to stop drinking. You're stumbling right now.
What are you talking
Dude,
about?
I'm talking about you. Now just pause for a second. I'm going to mute you. Now just stay muted for a second. And let me be chill and you be chill. Ethan started up his shit and he included my wife. He did not need to. He included my wife. He brought it up. He made it part of his shtick every night in front of 2,000 people. Those 2,000 people then took that joke and started spreading it to where I'm in other people's fucking streams. I'm away from Ethan and people are mentioning my wife and fucking fake fucking mental conditions in the chat. After about a year of this, I decided to be like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck you. And I really went hard when
you
told
did.
everybody. I decided to go hard when he decided to go smoke drugs in a parking lot with strange women when his wife was at home with Parkinson's. That's not me, dude. That's not me doing that. So if you mention my wife, same thing with Liam. I would never have mentioned Liam's wife if he hadn't have brought my wife up multiple times. Now, if you bring up my wife and you don't know her, expect me to say some shit back, and you can't cry. I don't know these people's wives. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But you know what? If you say some shit, then I'm going to say some shit back because that's the schoolyard. Now, if you want to go cry to the teacher, then that's you being a fucking bitch.
Matt, I got you, and I calmed down. Okay. I just spilled my drink over myself.
Good, because you need to stop, dude. Last call for you. I've had a fucking tall boy, and I'm fine. You're like stumbling around.
No, I'm fine.
Look,
I
will go hard on
I got
my
worked
wife
up
because I want you to be aware of it. If you bring in my wife, I will nuke you from fucking orbit.
Yes,
so just
stick
to my art. Joke
can I
on
speak
my
for
art.
a second, Matt?
Joke on the bags on my.
I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be calm.
How I got banned from Kimstar? Joke on that, dude.
I'm gonna be calm. I'm calm now. I'm calm.
You say you're calm?
I'm calm.
Yeah,
I know, dude. Please stop.
I thought you were saying I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be calm.
I'm gonna calm.
I'm calm now.
I'm calm.
I got you. I understand where you're coming from, Matt. And honestly, Matt, I know where you're coming from. But what I said earlier, right? Because I got a little worked up and I spilled my drink over myself. But I'm fine. Good. I'm fine. Okay? When you go against somebody's family member and talk about them becoming a vegetable, it's a bit far, man. It's a bit far, man.
Dude.
Yeah, but did you see Ethan tweeted about that Alyssa Clips the other day, Carvin?
Oh,
he's like,
God.
yeah. She's like, well, dude, come on.
Yeah,
man.
but we're talking about Matt versus Ethan now, Chris.
Okay, well,
we're talking about what happened between them.
To Ethan, though, attacking people,
and now you're gonna go, Ethan did something else.
It's like weird. It's like for a year he's jabbing at me below the belt, and when I finally do a roundhouse kick to his nuts,
but how did he go below? How did you know what? Like I said, Ethan's not my brother.
Dude, but you're like, how did he kick you? Like when I just repeated, like, do I have to repeat?
That's why I'm done. That's why Ethan's not my brother. I'm not gonna defend him like he's my family. I was calling you out and saying, like, bro, you did go below the belt, though. You did.
Yeah, but you're acting like these actions happen in a vacuum. They don't. Like Ethan has accountability here. You can't just brush that aside and attack Matt.
Bro, Chris, I saw the whole story from the beginning.
So why are you like calling up my hoop about it then?
I'm not saying Matt's right or wrong. I'm just saying
you can't. Honestly, if you were Matt, here before me, then you saw me show up. You
Yeah,
saw
I
me
did.
do a whole
I
bunch
did,
of
Matt.
shit. You saw me do a whole bunch of shit. You saw me pay my dues. Did you not see me do fucking covers? Did you not see me help? Did you not see me
But
grab an oar?
I saw you
Did
flip
you not
out
see me
too.
that? You saw
I
me
saw
flip
you-
out when people were threatening to rape me. That's
Yeah,
what
remember
you
that
saw.
website, Matt? What was that website again?
Motherfuck.
Remember that
Oh,
website?
ha, 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 ha. Laugh
It
because
is
you know I'm fucking
funny.
right, dude.
Well, you can't laugh about that. Come on.
No, man, I don't.
I don't think
You
it's
know,
funny,
some people
dude.
have,
If
you know,
somebody
if
put your name on the
Come on,
internet,
bro.
Malin has a problem, you know, with people talking about his wives. You know, I had a family member, dude. I had a family member who was raped and murdered.
Bro,
You know,
don't go
I
there
don't
now.
need to.
Come on, dude.
Dude,
well, Carbon.
I
all right,
can.
you
That's
don't use your
my
real name,
position.
but say somebody.
And
You're gonna
so
go
I don't
there
need
now, bro.
somebody. I'm not. I'm just saying that that's my personal position to be like, I don't think rape is funny. I'm not going along
It's
with
not.
the kayfabe.
Come on, man.
People were mad because I
It's
wasn't
not.
going along with the kayfabe.
But somebody messing with you, though, we're all laughing about it. That's what it is at the end of the day, you know?
Laugh about it. Go ahead.
All right,
I don't
well,
think it's funny.
well, here's
And
the
I'm
thing, right?
and the people
Come
who are
on.
laughing about it are the ones who are now totally shitting the bed. Who else
They
was
are?
laughing about
No,
it? Ethan?
I don't think so. Everybody's fine.
You don't
bro.
think so?
Everybody's fine.
Ethan's fine. Where's his books? Ethan's fine. Who else?
Riley's
Frog
fine
Tony?
too, man.
Is he? That dude's gonna end up in jail or shot for something. He's fine. Give me a break, dude. He's fine.
He might.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Also, say
All
is
right.
like, look, all right, Carbon,
You
don't
can't
use
tell
your
me
real
how to
name.
react to shit. Like if somebody wants
Chris.
to make a joke, if somebody
Just
wants
let
to
me make
make a
this
joke
comparison.
about it, and I'm not going along with that kayfabe. That's my personal choice. You can't fucking like get shitty about it, and you can't lose your fucking shit when you're saying I'm not joking. I'm coming to your house. I blocked
Can we hear
you.
what
I'm not
Chris
sure.
has to say? Let's
I'm
hear
not
what
sure
Chris
what the
has to
problem
say.
is.
Just a quick point. I remember that website. I forget who made it about you, Matt. And Carbon, like you don't use your real name, and that's totally cool. Like I'm not coming down. Like, but imagine somebody finding your real name and then creating a website. What was the website like, Matt? It was like some, you rape whatever.com. Like, come on, man. Like
First,
that's
it
not
goes
hitting below
into
the belt.
it was like my name, rape.
Come
you
on.
know, rape.com.
And Matt uses his
linked
name,
back
so
to my
you know.
shit. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
that's
Well,
pretty,
yeah,
pretty whack.
actually, I do remember that. That was a little bit beyond.
That's pretty whack.
beyond the past.
oh,
I mean, that isn't funny to me.
so yeah,
The-
so that
yeah.
went a little bit beyond.
That's my only
So there's
point.
these
That's all I
multiple
wanted.
Yeah,
moments where
the
you're
full name,
remembering
yeah.
where people did some fucking gnarly shit. So now
Yeah,
you're wondering,
couple-
why is Matt Barr going fucking full Mongolian on these fucking people? Maybe because they're fucking shooting arrows at me.
I mean, that shit wasn't cool, dude.
You
Like,
fucking
if I
start
saw
shooting
that,
arrows at me, and I'm gonna start collecting heads.
right?
Fuck you.
And and that's why it's tough for me to like, I mean, dude, how would you react if somebody did that shit to you? When you're in a fight, you don't give a fuck. You're just trying to hurt the other person as much
The
as you
thing,
can.
you know,
doesn't mean
what's
you
happening-
necessarily even believe.
I would
it,
pick
you
up
know?
Riley and beat the fuck out of EVS with him, dude. I would use Riley as a blunt fucking instrument, dude.
Oh Jesus Christ! My
as
God.
a
That's a
club.
blunt instrument. Yeah, that is a
Beat
blunt
it as a-
instrument.
pick them
Both
up like
of
a,
them, I could just both of them crying for me to stop while I fucking hammer them into each other, dude.
yeah. I mean, but look,
It looked like the fucking mess out of the thing. Just these two fucking masses.
we got off
swarmed
topic
fucking
though.
each
I
other.
don't know how we got here because we were talking about something else before.
We were supposed
Right?
to be,
We
like,
were
this was
talking
about
about-
John Longbox and Sexpest Liam Gray.
What were we talking about right before
Sexpest
this?
Liam Gray.
Yeah.
Yo, let me
That's
tell you.
the-
If you're an
I got my-
employee with Liam, you're gonna go down two paths. Either he's gonna try to fuck you, or he's gonna try
Or
to
fight
fuck you out of getting paid.
Or yeah, there you go. Yeah. I got my refund. That's all that matters.
Well,
Yeah, you had to
actually,
go
you know
to your
what?
bank, dude.
I had
You
to
know
go to
what?
the bank.
Let's
Yeah,
circle
I did.
back.
Yeah, I
Let's
did.
circle back to the beginning, Matt. The whole beginning of this was me saying, Matt, you gotta come home. You gotta come back home.
Yeah, but you gotta
We
go
want you
vacation
to
come
be
home. That's the
working with some
problem.
CG.
What am I going home
Chris,
to? Who's
Chris, well,
home?
CG artists, CG
I
writers.
never left
CG and
I
DVS
never.
are synonymous now, though. Like, you
There,
can't-
Chris,
there-
hold
there's
on,
no,
hold on.
There's no
All right,
weird ass
all right.
fucking airport fucking now leaving Matt Barr. Like I never fucking left fucking ComicsGate.
Yeah, you
know?
did by fucking bitching
No, I
on
didn't.
Twitter, bro.
No, I'll tell you what, Matt.
No,
Every
by
time
bitching
Matt
at
does
Ethan,
stick up for
by
CG.
fighting with Ethan, that's not fucking.
I have
leaving-
seen.
That's not
I have
leaving
seen Matt.
ComicsGate.
He's always been like, I've always been CG. I've seen you say that a lot on Twitter or X.
I mean,
I'm
now
talking
I don't
about-
know. Now we got piss porn. We got fucking pedophilia.
You got jizz salads.
We got
Well,
all
look,
the weird shit
all
Ethan
right.
is doing. Yo, he's toxic. People want to talk about me being toxic.
Come
Yo,
on.
Ethan is toxic as fuck, dude. That's
You know, you're too hung up on Ethan, bro. To be honest,
well, you're the
you
one
really
talking
are.
about going back into ComicsGate and
Yes!
ComicsGate.
I'm
you're
talking about
CG.
everybody else. There's
Who
a
was
ton of.
everybody else?
And
Can I
Ethan's
finish what I'm
anonymous.
saying? Can I
Sure.
finish what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Who is there
There's a
beyond
ton of
Ethan,
other
who's everybody else?
creators. There's a
That I don't
ton
get
of
along
other.
with?
No, that you haven't fought with, that you haven't had any beef with. Tons of other writers, creators. They're looking for artists. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's time to stop this battle, this fucking never-ending battle, and acting like CG is shit when you know it's not. You know, that's my defense. I'm defending saying, look, it's time to be like, hey, I don't like Ethan or whoever, and I got beef with them, but I like these. I'm working with these other guys, right?
Yeah, but okay, so you got beef with Ethan. Well, guess who else you have beef with now? Because you have beef with Ethan, you got beef with Shane, Mandy,
No,
Malin.
Chris,
That's what I'm
stop.
doing, though,
You're being
dude.
negative. No, Chris,
You're going.
you're not helping.
True though.
Chris, you're not helping. You're
I've
being
done
negative.
several logos. I've done work in both of John Longbox's books. His
Yes,
upcoming
that's
book. I've done
exactly.
work in that.
John's.
I'm not
You're
sure
cool with
what
John.
you mean.
Who else
I
are you
mean,
cool with?
I'd have to go through my DMs and find out who was.
No, yeah.
who
So
was
you
hiring
worked
me.
with John. You worked who else?
Hold on.
Who else? You're working with
Like
Zach.
recently?
Yeah, you're working
Recently or all together?
with Richard C. Meyer. You're working with him,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's my
Mike
point.
Barron.
That's my point, bro. You're working
I'm sure
with
you're
all
cool with
these
Phil and the
guys.
Diaz bros, right? You're probably cool
That's
with
my
those guys.
point.
Yo, I don't need to work with the Diaz brothers. They have like their own stable of fucking
Right.
people.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
No, but you're not like, a problem with it. You're cool with them.
no, I don't have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with them. I mean, at this point, dude,
Nah,
you're saying, hey,
yeah, they're
come
cool.
back into ComicsGate, and I'm going, where the fuck did I leave? I had a whole freaking awesome show where I brought in all kinds of people and promoted all kinds of people's books and did all kinds of shit. Like I've paid my dues. I've done the fucking promoting shit.
Hey, Risey, by the way, I guess he's streams.
I've done that
Tough
shit,
Risey.
man.
God damn it. You son of a bitch.
So you're already
having
doing it,
random
then.
people, dude. I had fucking D. Snyder's son on my shit, which was like, that was the fucking. I was like, yo, I gotta fucking scan these people's fucking campaigns because he like had like some sexy.
I remember that.
Remember that, dude? I was like,
yeah.
fuck. But dude, so like, there's like almost 70 episodes of me talking about other campaigns, bringing up other people's shit. And during that time, I've done a fuck ton of work, dude. I've done a shit ton of artwork in comics.
I know you have. I know you have.
There's even times, dude, where I did fucking Jedi mind tricks on shit, dude. Billy Tucci and I had never talked. And then I was in the fucking chat and was like, hey, Billy, have you announced my fucking cover yet? And he was like, have you announced it? Oh, no, but yeah, sure. You could do a cover. And so I did a cover for his fucking zombie shit. I did that twice, dude. Just like, hey, have you announced Matt Barr's cover? And they were like, oh, Matt Barr, that's a good idea. Like I got a couple of covers like that, dude. So, I mean, and I did him fucking like pennies on the dollar, dude. And I'm not like being like, oh, I didn't pay, I didn't charge anything. I charged, you know what I mean? Like I charged, but I know that these guys are indie. I know that these were like dream projects, and I'm not here to fucking carpetbag or fleece these people. Like they paid me what they wanted. Hey man, could you do a cover for me? Yeah, sure. How much do you want to pay? What do you have budgeted? I got $200. Sounds good. Awesome. And then I would fucking do it. So like to be like, come back into ComicsGate, like I never really left. Like my name is on more. My name is on more shit than fucking Liam Gray's. My name is on more shit than fucking Malin's, maybe.
At the same time, there's a perception because of the streams and the tweets. There's a perception that you're anti-ComicsGate.
I can't control other people's.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Yes, you
I can
can.
only control what
What?
I think.
Well, you
Well,
can control your tweets, right? You can control what
well,
you
everything
say.
I've seen on Twitter,
I
it's usually
do.
Matt defending CG. He's like, "I'm still CG." That's the problem.
Oh God,
That's what
Matt,
he said, dude. I'm
look,
just looking at
Chris,
his tweets, man.
Chris. I'm trying to build a bridge here.
I
All right,
don't know. If it's
and
possible, man.
you're
I
not
don't
helping here,
understand.
man. I'm trying to build a bridge here.
Well, I commend you for that, but
what I'm saying is
I
that
don't know.
Dude, you're over here in a ditch with some fucking 2x4s talking about a bridge, and I'm standing on the overpass. I don't know what
all
you're
right.
fucking
Well, you know what?
trying to like
Maybe
show me, dude.
maybe this will help. And give me a second to say this. All right. You've already been doing work with CG. You're technically CG already. But like I said, the perception is that you're not. The perception is that you're anti, right?
Because of the people that have been brought in.
And I get that. And here's the thing.
Well, then if
now,
you get that, then what is the conversation? Are we both in agreement?
Here's my point. Okay, here's my point. You're pretty much a part of the group. You really are. At the end of the day, you're in the well. I mean, I know you're a professional. You're a professional artist already, but you're doing work for independent people, right? I'm trying to get to the point where I want everybody to get along, despite the hatred going on with this kind of bullshit with the.
It's not.
And
I'm not the source of the bullshit. There was.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
All right, well,
Matt, I didn't say that.
You're on my
right
channel
now
talking to me about it, and it's like
no, but right at this moment, I didn't say that. At this moment, I didn't say that. I'm saying that at the core, there's some kind of bullshit going on. People fighting each other, right? You know what? I'm the peacemaker here. Nobody realizes it, and this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm unifying everybody. I really am. And like at the beginning of this,
I'm trying to build a bridge.
I am building the bridge. I am building the bridge because I started this by saying, "Hey, Matt, am I lying?" I started this out by saying, "Hey, Matt, we want your talents for some independent projects, regardless of some beef going on." Fuck the beef is what I'm saying.
Where's the beef? Is what I'm saying. Where's the beef?
Dude,
we know where the beef is.
The beef started with one person.
Wendy's. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
I'm past who started it. I'm just saying squash it. Fuck it.
I mean,
fuck the beef.
Yeah, but man, the only problem is like.
But what, Chris? You want to hold on to the past?
No,
fuck the past, bro.
Dude,
I mean, I don't.
You're saying he should reacclimate back to
anything...
CG. Like you got to go by EVS to become a CG, like to be CG.
No, we don't.
Really do.
And I don't see I don't see the trajectory of my career being
right.
Like more like what you want me to like do interiors for people that aren't.
Well, I'm not talking career. You already have a career.
I said my trajectory within comics, where it's like, all right, I've worked with.
Yeah, well, within
Dixon,
doing some projects,
I'm doing stuff with Mike Barron.
You got a career, Matt.
I'm doing stuff with Bob Burden.
You're a grown man.
Like at that point, I'm not really gonna do something with other people. Like I have my own projects. Like I'm not a fucking meat art robot. Like I have my own ideas.
I know that. You're set, Matt.
To go backwards to be like, yeah, let me do some interior.
Believe me, I'm not naive.
Tony, like I don't know what the fuck. You're not really clear on like who I need to be friendly with. You know,
I'm talking about CG adjacent.
Okay, so Carbon, how would he react?
Matt, can I finish a fucking sentence?
Dude, you've been talking a lot. I'm asking you a simple question. So, like, you want?
No, but I didn't finish my sentence, bro.
Okay,
Chris, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Matt, you asked a question. You have a career. You have your projects. I get that. I'm not trying to interfere. And pretty much you're set. I'm saying within this sphere, right? open up to the people in CG who want to build independently outside of the core EVS CG, because I know that you're against that, right? I started this conversation by saying, look, Matt, your talents, we could use that in CG. We could use your talents in CG.
You have it in CG. You have it.
What?
You haven't lost my talents in CG. I did a logo the other day for somebody.
For who?
I forgot his name. It's called Cartoon Neighborhood or something. And somebody just released a comic book, Hollow Mountain or something like that. Like there's some new.
So you've been open to working. You've been open to working with everyone in CG.
Have you fucking DM'd me and asked me to do something?
I'm asking you. Have
you?
Have you been?
Have you asked me? Have you DM'd me? Well then,
I haven't. I'm asking you. Have you been open?
Shame on you, Poopy Pants. Because everybody who DMs
Mr. Poopy Pants. That's a naked gun. Yeah, that's a naked gun.
Hey, Matt, can you drop the ego for a second? Can you drop the ego for a second?
Dude. Like,
I'm asking you.
Now.
Have you been open to working with everybody?
If somebody DMs me and they haven't been like cheering on the rape of me and my family, then yeah, I'm open to work.
So okay. Oh, so you have. I didn't know that, Matt. I didn't know that,
dude. I have my DMs. I'm not going to show my DMs, but I have
and to be honest,
be like, "Hey, man, could you do something?" Yeah, sure, no problem. Dude,
I think most people have not known.
I'm sorry that I don't have commissions open on my fucking thing.
But honestly,
dude,
I think most people have not known that.
Soft sell as fuck. I am soft sell as fuck. Like, yeah, my commissions are open. Like, if you need a logo, like, yeah,
that's awesome.
Me. If you want to do if you needed me to do a cover, yeah, I just don't say, hey,
dude,
I'm
that's great.
I'm available, but if somebody DMs me, I'm always like,
honestly, Matt,
sure.
I don't think anybody has known that. Nobody's known that, man.
How do you think these people? I mean, I've done multiple fucking covers for people. The whole like Merc.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing as saying I'm open to people. It's not the same thing.
I'm a soft sell, dude. I'm a soft sell, but I can't say no.
I mean, that's great. That's great. No, I'm being honest with you.
It just can't be
that's
like
awesome.
Don't be sending me none of that Mike Wheeler shit. You know what I mean? I need to be able to draw it if my kids walk in. I can't if I'm sitting here drawing.
I got you.
Hey kids, I'm just drawing some boob. Like,
I understand. It's not all bullshit, but but honestly, I truly think
so. There's no like, I'm shunning ComicsGate. I've never shunned ComicsGate.
It kind of felt like that, and I'm being honest.
No, it's just been it's been a lot of like shit talking Ethan or him shit talking me or
what do you expect, bro?
Shit talking.
When you're fighting people, what do you expect people are gonna think?
I don't know. I mean, I post some artwork, but I'm not going to post any Rock and Roll Ninja. I don't want to like spoil anything. So it's not like I'm not working. You guys are going to just be like, oh shit. Like everything that, that I heard from the first Rock and Roll Ninja, I'm applying. Excuse me. But I'm like working on it, but I'm not going to show it until it's fucking done.
No, but and that's the thing about you, Matt. Like you are.
And it's like, oh, Matt Barr, you did a fucking cover for Yellow Flash. Oh, that's fuck true. You. Like, Yellow Flash didn't use your cover. Like, what? Like, that's a fucking L? Like, give me a break, man. It's just silly. So I don't know. Like, I haven't shut down. Like, the only thing I've shut down is anything to do with Ethan. That's it.
Well,
Malin can go fuck himself. Shane can go fuck himself.
All right. So now you're going to tell everyone to fuck themselves. Okay, good.
I'm telling people who could go fuck themselves who have already.
We just reached a nice. We just reached a nice compromisable point.
I'm not telling you to fuck off right now.
But now you're telling a bunch of people to go fuck themselves.
Well, you're like, hey, you need to come back into ComicsGate and you need to like reaffirm your shit with ComicsGate. Like I need to go and like step in front of the fucking council and take a sip of my Kool-Aid, and it's like I'm not fucking.
Well, I never said
I don't see the authority like these people that
I never said the council, bro. But at the same time, you don't need to alienate.
I know you didn't because I'm the one who has a larger lexicon. I'm the one who's using.
I hate to break in here. Somebody
The
in the
floral
chat.
language.
Somebody in the chat saying, "Hey Chris, ask him." I think this is Carbonheart. Ask him why does he need to rejoin CG? Go Carbonheart. There you go. Question for you from the chat.
Why does? Well, obviously he doesn't. He doesn't have to. I mean, nobody has to.
Did I
He can do
leave
it-
though? Did I
He can do
leave?
it-
Did I leave?
He can do whatever the
says-
fuck he
wait a
wants.
minute.
I mean,
Who
and I
says-
said that before too. I said that he's a professional. He's got his career. You don't have to do shit, but
Dylan was
obviously,
crying on a stream, dude. Yellow Flash. I was like, hey man. He was like, hey, do you want to do cover? I said, yeah, sure. So he came to me. He was like, hey, do you want to do cover? I said, yeah, sure. All right. Did the cover. I like gave him like 3-4 examples. He picked one. I inked it, and I was like, do you have somebody who's going to color it? And he said, yeah. And I was like, all right, so are we good? And he was like, yeah, we're good. And then he was like, how much do you want? And I was like, yeah, pay me whatever, whatever you have on the budget. And he fucking paid me. And that was it. So there was no like waiting or anything. It was just like, here's the line artwork. I'm done. Need anything else? No? Okay, cool. Payment. I mean, and like the whole, like, honestly, the whole, like, yeah, pay me whatever is in the budget. It's like some freelance, like, fucking tactics. It's not me being some kind of fucking Bolsheviks. I mean, sometimes I'll like be working for a corporation or some kind of corporate thing, and I'll be like, wow, yeah, like this job, like, yeah, I'll probably get like maybe $400 or $500. That would be cool. And then I'm like, yeah, like what's the budget? And they're like, yeah, that's probably like maybe $2,000. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, $2,000. You know what I mean? So it's like a tactic, that I use in daily life. You know what I mean? That works.
Manipulation.
It usually ends up better. You know what I mean? Because it's also you got to and be ready. To be like, whoa, oh really? Yeah. How about $50? And then you got to be like, well, actually, But it hasn't been like that at all. Like people, I've been happy to do this stuff. Like, so you're like, you need to come back into CG, and it's just like, man, the hours of artwork and the hours of me sitting at my fucking table doing shit for other people in ComicsGate. Like, you're saying I need to fucking like,
well, you know what I noticed?
Re-put myself into the community is like,
what I noticed anytime you tell somebody what you think about a particular issue, they'll equivocate what you say towards what they're being defensive about. Because like I said, I didn't say, oh, you need to necessarily be CG, right? I said, hey, be open to CG projects. But then it's equivocated by the defensive party by being like, hey,
well, why do you have to declare anything? Why can't you just independently work with those creators? Yeah, maybe they may be a part of CG, but why?
That's exactly my point, Chris. That's exactly my point.
That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
That's not what I said, right? I'm saying be open to doing projects, but the defensive stance is saying, hey, no, I don't need to be allegiant to this because that's the
allegiant to what?
To CG.
The whole point was he has to come back.
No, that's
well, you're being vague on
Are
what
you hearing
CG
what
is.
I'm saying? That's
You're
the
being
insecurity.
vague. You're being vague on what CG is.
Oh my god! Let me repeat what I just said.
You think. I am assuming what you think CG is. You're
assuming what I'm
saying
is be allegiant. Yes. I'm saying be open.
When you say be open to CG, and
CG
go
creators,
back into the CG fold.
Yes,
CG you're talking creators. About Ethan. Are you not talking about Ethan?
No,
you're talking about other people. Well, I thought we've already established the other people just now that I do work.
Bro, exactly.
So what's the problem with that?
And there's no problem.
Okay, my problem is with Ethan.
We reached a nice compromise actually a few minutes ago when you said that you're willing to do work with CG. Remember that? Of course. That was a nice.
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially with CG. My heart's in CG. That's where I started a lot of my indie work is in CG.
Yeah. All I'm trying to say is
like I have no problem with like being CG or at a point, I don't know now, because now CG is trademarked by a guy who promotes fucking just fucking insane shit. I can't fucking you can't do ComicsGate now without saying Ethan Van Sciver, and that just has a whole fucking baggage load of bullshit.
You know who I blame? I blame Dark Gift for this. Thank you, Dark Gift, for saging the CG brand. I'm joking, by the way. Don't fucking clip this. But didn't he save?
Yeah,
the
that's
CG
who you
brand
need to
from
go
Preston?
back. You need to send the Terminator back to fucking
I love you,
kill
Dark Gift. I'm
to
just kidding.
kill Tony.
But yeah, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony actually saved the CG
Yeah, you
trademark.
can't
back
really
on.
do a lot in ComicsGate without it being connected to Ethan at all anymore.
Yeah.
Because if anybody Googles ComicsGate, like, oh, this is a cool indie book. Oh, it's ComicsGate. Let me Google ComicsGate. Then you got a bunch of Ethan shit, where
You know
he's
who I blame?
yelling about fucking Eric July.
I blame Preston Poulter for all this. The CG copyright, whatever, trademark, whatever. Right?
Yeah,
he was the one who tried. He tried trolling.
The original fucking degenerate.
Yep.
Which was crazy. That was when I was like super pro Ethan, when he was like this fucking
fighting the good fight. You thought,
he was like,
fight,
hey,
yeah.
I need a battle chest because we're going to court with this Poulter fucking guy because we're fighting over ComicsGate because he likes to get fucked in the ass while his wife is watching this degenerate shit. And I just remember being
Sheila
like,
discovered that. I remember Sheila.
And I just remember being like, yeah, man. I'm like, fuck this dude, right? And I bought the fucking CG hat and I bought the CG shirt because I was like, yeah, Ethan needs to win this court case to keep the ComicsGate trademark away from this degenerate, and because it was like fucking Batman was bisexual. Superman was gay. Nobody knew how to fucking draw at either of the companies. You know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, dude, we're fucking fighting it. We're going to push back and this is going to be part of it. Like Ethan's going to fight this fucking degenerate to keep ComicsGate. And nah. So he won the ComicsGate name and then opened up the back door and just started bringing in all these fucking weirdos and degenerates.
I'll tell you, man. Yeah. Look, man, Carbon, bro. I mean, some of the riffraff that have come through the doors in the last year or two. I mean, bro. I mean, you got the Vitos, the Rileys, the Jizz Salads, the Katie Dids, and I don't know how you feel about any of these people, but for people who were around in the early days of CG, this was not the intention or the goal for these types of people. Just wait until Ethan, because I heard Mint Salad was supposedly doing a comic book. Wait till Ethan has to promote that book once it's ready to be promoted. I mean, that the problem I have with Ethan is he's your best friend and he loves your work until he has a personal issue with you, and then all of a sudden everything's dog shit. So his credibility to me has gone down in the toilet. It's he dog shit. There's no credibility with him
multiple cases. Shit.
Yeah. Camel Moon. He played Camel Moon's cartoons, and all of a sudden,
Chris,
he played him for years. What? You can't.
Chris, can I ask you? Can I ask Chris?
Sure.
Now that you say that, what was the turning point for you?
It was when it became very negative, dude. And Ethan, look, man, I don't mind waiting for books like most people, especially in the beginning of CG. You got to be patient, right? It's an independent movement. People are trying to do things that mainstream comics takes teams of people to do. So you have to be patient. So in the beginning, you got to give them a little bit of room or space to kind of operate, figure things out. They're going to make mistakes. There's going to be delays. There's personal issues, whatever. I get it. I do get that, man. But at a certain point, when you have people Ethan, it's dude, don't you think you should be getting better at this, quicker, more efficient, better? And then and look, I have not backed one book Eric July did, because I say shit on Twitter and people call me a Rippaverse simp or whatever.
Yeah.
And, dude, I've never backed anything, and I don't hate the guy either. Don't get me wrong, but I've never backed anything he's done. But when Rippa comes out and he's just ripping this shit off and he's getting shit out, and people can argue about quality. Art is always going to be subjective, and they're going to have opinions on both sides. My main quibble, to your point, is when did I lose hope? When it became nothing but negative, and then you look at all the late books, lack of updates, lack of go to Indiegogo.
Dude, that was my joke.
They don't respond to any comments. Dude, what is going on?
That was my question.
This
Maybe
is not
I
a
need
fan
to
movement.
put that in the
fan movement
in the chat. What's worse, not getting refunds on a late book or a 3D asset couch in the comic? What's worse?
I would say the refund, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's more of a fucking faux pas for the reader? You know what I mean? For the person slapping down their hard-earned money. You know, I'm giving you fucking $20. Which is worse? You not fucking sending me what I asked for, what we agreed upon, and not giving me my money, or you sending me the book and there being a fucking wonky looking couch on page 5.
Right.
Which is worse?
Right.
I mean, honestly, I've never minded the delays because I
It's
get
the lack
it.
of updates, and then you have comments and like they don't respond to the.
Yeah, I'm
reply.
talking about refunds. I'm talking about
like
the pages
CG
and pages of refunds that have been
like
asked.
CG,
No, I
CG
get it. I
yeah,
get it,
but
guys. But
CG
what
was
I'm
supposed
saying,
to be
in
supposed to be fan
comparison, like
movement,
the question
respecting your
that
customers and your
Matt just
fans.
asked, though, the lateness versus the 3D assets, I'll take the lateness because I'd rather have a good book rather than a shit book.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're in the minority, pal, because like,
Am I?
you know,
No, I mean, honestly, and I'm not trying to just argue with you,
Hey,
Chris.
you know what? Maybe
I
if
feel
you
like
were waiting 5 years for like another installment of Fast and Furious, but you're not. You're like waiting 5 years for like
where's Rainbow the Brute?
a
That shit
fucking
that was
episode.
in 2020, dude. Like, come on, man. It's been half a decade.
Look,
half a decade.
I get that, but honestly, and I'm not.
Talk
He
about
marketed that as
I'm not
something
trying to
talk about some
bullshit you.
SJW shit. Talk about some crazy leftist
I'm not trying
shit.
to bullshit you here.
By
I feel
the
like most of
time you're
CG,
done with
they're
Ethan,
willing to
you're gonna
to
have
wait.
a little shrine of queer shit. Once you finish with Ethan, you're gonna have like a little Rainbow the Brute.
So when Ethan goes to the casino and he goes to Phillies
fucking
games,
unicorns,
you realize he has no day job, right? So where's that money coming from? Right? Where's
Yeah,
that money coming from?
I get it, man. But like,
oh shit, dinner's ready.
Oh, Matt's
I
gotta go.
I barely got through this fucking.
I know, dude. Sorry,
I didn't
man.
even get to the part where he fucking where they were talking about me, which is the most important thing on my
go to
channel.
if you got time, go to it quick. Yeah, if you got time.
I don't. I got people saying dinner's ready, and it's Father's Day, so.
What's for dinner tonight, Matt?
I don't know. It's a surprise. It just says I got a text that just says dinner, so I don't know what's down there.
It'll probably be one of your favorite meals. It'll probably be one.
Enjoy it, Matt.
So I don't know. I'm from what I heard, John Longbox just coldly and systematically took apart Liam, and I don't know. I trust Chris. I trust Chris on here. Nah, I'm gonna go.
Wait.
Nah, there's no barbecue there. All right. Fuck. I wanted to watch this.
Well, there's always next time, Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat.
Oh, hey,
Matt. Well,
Scarlett.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, always. See, unlike Ethan, I don't have people blocked in my fucking chat. I don't like start screaming for my fucking mods to start muting you. I don't have anybody muted in my chat.
I know that.
And I throw my fucking link in the chat. So, like, you know, if people want to come rolling up, Katie Did wants to explain why she's such a fucking hatchet wound.
Don't get me started on Katie.
Can.
Don't get me started on her.
Well, Matt, you and I have a special rivalry going on.
We do,
and I feel like we got more fights to come. Because tonight this wasn't a good enough fight. We gotta have
doesn't a rivalry require like two people who give a fuck?
Oh, you don't give a fuck now.
Doesn't one like?
Oh, you're
like,
so fucking
like,
cool.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, you're so fucking smooth.
Do you have a book? You sound old.
I'm an old man.
How much of your drink did you spill during this stream, Carver?
I drink brown liquor.
Yes, I do drink. No, I drink all liquor. Yeah, no, Matt. Listen, we got more fights to come. It's gonna be good.
All right, man. I got no problem with ComicsGate. It's just certain people, dude, and I hate it when they like can't handle their fucking shit one-on-one and they have to instigate everybody.
Creator. The chat saying I'm not a creator. I am a fucking creator. I got a book in the works.
You know.
Well, according to John Malin, I'm on this panel right now. That means I'm a creator.
No, I'm also a musician. I got music that you can fucking download right now. But fuck anybody who doubts me. Anyway, Matt, I love you,
don't
Matt.
steal your shit. Don't steal your fucking shit. This isn't your.
Oh, you don't want me to? Oh, you don't want me to promote it?
No. Good night.
All right.